I'm gonna let it out on the line here. Dom's an ungrateful piece of shit. Okay, how about that? So he's an ungrateful little bitch. He is an asshole. He got everything from the Judgment Day.
He made the right choice.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Beard Bros Breakdown Podcast. My name is RedBeard. Joined with me, as always, is my good friend Krodok and co-host. And today is the day we are going to be doing the Wrestlemania 41 predictions. Cannot wait.
Yeah, man.
I cannot believe it's finally here, dude. Dude, WrestleMania week gets here faster than you think. And it feels like yesterday we were just at the Royal Rumble. Holy shit, I'm so ready to get into this, man. But obviously, before we get into that, how was your week?
You know what? Honestly, awful. I had an awful week. I was sick. Like, I've been on and off sick, but hey, it's WrestleMania week now, and I'm super hype. Let's get this shit on the road. It doesn't.
Well, it's already on the road, but you know,
I know, but it doesn't feel like it. I don't know why it does not feel like WrestleMania week. It doesn't feel like it's this Saturday. It feels like it's too fast, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Dude, when it gets here, it's like the most. It's what it makes me look forward to the weekend, regardless of like. I always look forward to the weekend because I get to do some videos, I get to play some games, I get to work on shit that I can't work on when I'm working. But when it gets to WrestleMania weekend, dude, holy hell, I like literally take off work. I don't care about anything going on. Obviously, there's things I care about, but like I don't care about anything happening for the rest of the night. I am locked and loaded. I'm ready to go. I'm invested. I don't talk to anyone. Yeah. But we are here, dude. My week's been good. We're recording this on a Tuesday, so my week is technically not over. I have one more day of work. We're recording this right after NXT. He's seen much of NXT, but yeah, right after NXT, we went ahead and get this out of the way because fuck it. They're like because we're hyped and it's gonna be a busy weekend. Go ahead and get this shit out of the way. Go ahead and throw our predictions in because we are extremely ready to get this shit in. Say who we think we're going to win for both nights. It's a stacked card. The only thing that's missing from the card is what we noticed is Randy because he doesn't have a match.
Well, that's not the only thing.
What else is the other one?
We have neither of the women's tag mid-card titles being defended. Bullshit. And we don't have the SmackDown titles being defended.
The women's tag titles are, Bayley and Lyra are facing Liv and Raquel.
No. Women's mid-card titles.
Oh, Chelsea? Yeah, I don't think they will. Chelsea and Lyra, because Lyra is doing the tag match.
Exactly.
No, I don't.
Stupid.
It sucks. I don't think Chelsea may make appearance, but I don't think she's going to.
Like, what are we doing, man?
I don't understand. I feel like something is going to be, something's going to be announced probably Friday, which is going to suck for this episode because we'll tell you later, like if things like that happen, what's going to happen because we're going to give the rules out. I'm going to put the PWC Championship on the screen. Yes, I will. Shut up. I did it a couple episodes ago. I did it. I managed to do it, and nobody gave.
Good job, man. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, nobody gave any what they thought about the championship. But I'm glad because I feel like somebody would have said it was shit. Listen, I tried. I just put letters on it. It's a random placeholder for a title belt. In the future, I may think of changing it up a bit. I don't know. Making custom side plates. You never know. I mean, I can't make a belt myself, but like I could put I thought about putting my face on the side plates or like your face on the side plates. Kind of like making it unique a bit instead of having to just leave it generic. But anyways, we're gonna get into the recap of the week before we even get into the predictions because this is probably gonna be a long episode because there's 2 nights worth. There's 13 matches between the whole shows. So,
not to mention, I also want to talk about the stand and deliver matches. We're not going to predict for those, but I do want to talk about them.
I got to bring those up to you. The stand and deliver matches, and then also our recap. So, you want to go ahead and start with a recap of what SmackDown will start?
Sure. but I want to soak in a feeling really quick.
All right.
So at this point, I started watching wrestling in May of last year officially. That's when I started watching things live. That's when I started watching the weekly shows. And now, I've never experienced a WrestleMania buildup while watching the weekly shows. I've never been in this position before. And now that I'm in this position, I'm in the actual week of WrestleMania. It's this weird feeling in my body, in my bones that I don't know how to describe. I had the same feeling at SummerSlam because I was so hyped for that. And it's hard to explain, but it feels like adrenaline is like coursing through me, and I'm also nervous at the same time, but super excited.
I think that's
It's
called
like I'm out
arthritis.
there
No, I'm
having the
kidding.
match, but I'm not.
I think that's called arthritis in your bones. No, I'm kidding. No, yeah, because you began like we had just gone through a 4 year tyrant reign of Roman Reigns, and you were there like at the end. So like you didn't know. You said you watched it, but the feeling was not the same as it was for everybody else who has been a diehard fan of that era. And eventually afterwards you began watching compilations of stuff, and like the
Mhm.
bloodline had their whole story so far on there. Even the Judgment Day had stuff later on, and you became a fan quickly. Like you started getting used to this, and like already quickly, like you said, by SummerSlam, like I think in that same year we developed the PWC Championship. So like we were
Mhm.
already doing our predictions kind of thing that early on. So you got into it quick, and because we've been talking about it, and you would hear like me talk about it and stuff, and you would be interested, but like you weren't into it right away, and then even then got into the games and stuff as well. You got into pretty much everything, and now it's his life. Welcome to the Beard Bros Breakdown podcast. Uh,
True. I think about it 24/7.
yeah,
I wasn't
no,
watching wrestling all of today. I didn't binge watch LFG today. Totally not me.
it's the craziest thing that people to this day I don't understand how they can shit on it still when it is the longest running entertainment brand in the entire world, where it's every week, it's a new episode, there is a new storyline, there's a continuation of storylines. You're on the edge of your seat every week, and it's in front of a live audience. That's the best form of entertainment. Yeah, it's corny, yeah, it's cheesy, but that's the
Damn
point.
right.
That's the point. And I know it's entertainment, but man, just because you say one thing's fake doesn't matter. It's very well known in this day and age. I sound old saying that, but it is well known today in modern media that wrestling is predetermined. Well, not even the sport of wrestling. There's mat wrestling, there's technical wrestling that's not scripted, that is like you pin them on the mat and that's it, you win. There's championships
Amateur
for that.
wrestling. Yeah.
Amateur wrestling, that's still a thing. When you say wrestling is fake, you're making it sound like you're calling the entire sport fake. No, pro wrestling, that's a whole different thing. That's what these guys do in the ring, in these giant venues. Pro wrestling, you calling it fake is pretty much calling the entire thing fake. The
Yeah. And it's
storylines,
not even
yeah,
pro wrestling isn't even fake. It's just
no,
predetermined.
no, it's predetermined sports. It's still combat. Yeah, I get it. They don't punch each other. They don't kick each other. You're not really supposed to punch or kick anybody in wrestling anyway. But that's to add to the finesse or the combat itself instead of just doing slams all the time. That's to add to it. And also, some of the hits aren't fake. Have you seen Gunther? Yeah, these are some of these hits are not fake. Obviously, they're not going to punch someone in the face. Obviously, they're not kicking someone in the face. They kick people in the chest, maybe, but the face is the most protected area for them when they're not punching each other. Everything else is real, dude. Like, I think people just do it to hate because it is the bandwagon, but
Yeah.
try it. It's fun. Like, it's corny to talk about because nobody knows anything when you're talking to them, but it's fun. Just
True.
try it out. Because if you're gonna be hearing this every week. This is my main upload source now, so buckle up because we're gonna be doing this for a very long time. So,
Yeah.
anyways, back into the recap.
Yeah. So
SmackDown.
I have a few things that I want to bring up from the SmackDown, and to be honest, a lot of them are negative things. Okay, but don't
Oh,
take everything I say like okay. When I'm talking negatively about stuff in wrestling, it doesn't mean I hate it. It just means I am critical. I'm a critical person. That's what I
yeah.
like to do. I like to criticize. So number one, I don't want to see Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa. I don't think they're gonna do that. I
Nobody
don't think
does.
Randy's even gonna get a match. Like, god damn it, did they tease that shit? And I was like, hell no, please give me Nick Aldis or no one. I
That's what I was
just
afraid
no.
of. I was like, as soon as they were talking about dun 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 dun, I was like, oh mother. I was like,
Do
dude,
do do do. Wah 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 wah.
yeah. I was like, I know this segment's not gonna go all the way with just them talking. I had a feeling. So, like, the thing is with this like prediction episode, like whatever we say here is we're locking in. Cannot
Yeah.
be changed. We'll tell the rules later after this recap, but like if something comes up on Friday, we'll improvise. It'll be added to our predictions list, but it won't. Those are the only like ones that'll be an exception since we're doing this so early, and also because we used to do before we did the podcast, we should do the predictions on Friday because that show's over. As long as we did it before the Saturday or the Sunday, we were fine with it. Um,
Mhm.
and I even think I don't know if like no, because this is the first time we've done WrestleMania, so like we never said, oh,
Yeah.
if we can change it, before night two. No, this is locking both night one and two. There's no changes to night two. There's no changes to night one. As soon as we lock this in, but yeah, Randy needs somebody, but I still see him showing up because he did say he will show up regardless. So I feel like a match could be added, and if that's the case and it happens at Mania, we'll improvise for sure.
True that, true that. But now I'm gonna get to the complaining part, and
Okay.
we already kind of talked about this,
Yeah.
but Lyra and Bailey versus Liv and Raquel at
What a weird
WrestleMania.
choice.
No women's mid card on WrestleMania. We're not having Chelsea have a match, and Lyra's in a tag match for some reason. By the way, in a tag team with the person she just beat in a title match, for which I don't get
It's
it, man.
very
I don't
forced.
get
It's
it.
very forced, and like I don't. I'm not going to say anything because we're leaving that for the predictions part. But like, it's very forced to me because like I thought there was going to be a storyline here. Because the thing is, it already seemed clear that they would probably team up together to fight Liv and Raquel after that one scuffle, and Bailey came to save her. So then, why have a tag match or no title match the next week, and then
Yeah.
kind of have a bitchy attitude after you lose, fair and square, by the way. Um, and then come back and I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, sorry, and hug you, and then the next week or the next that same week, fight for the to qualify for the tag match at Mania.
I
So
mean, I think they're
it's
probably
dumb.
just gonna make Bailey turn heel on Lyra, but I
Honestly,
don't know,
I
man.
honestly will I leave it for the part, yeah, but yeah. We'll see how that goes. It's very weird how they're setting it up, but I could see that because I'm telling you right now, before
Yeah.
I even discuss the prediction, I don't see them giving Lyra make an excuse to make Lyra two belts. There's no way. But anyway,
Yeah, me neither. I don't see that happening. I
um,
think we were on the same page with that.
I don't know if you had it in your notes. Did you have the Cody segment in your notes?
I did not know.
Okay, the only thing I can really say is like it is that got me more hyped for the match. It sucks that we're not going to see Cena, not even this coming Friday. We didn't see him Monday. But seeing all those old championship belts was a nostalgia, whatever you want to call it for me, nostalgia moment for me. Seeing the
The
old spinner
spinner
belt,
belts.
yeah, seeing the old spinner belt back in full light again was insane for me. Even so, like seeing the old the Intercontinental and there was a lot. There was even the old WWE, like just seeing all of those there because they obviously have them in the Hall of Fame. They have their own real title Hall of Fame. Seeing
Yeah,
those
those are definitely replicas.
yeah, those are replicas because I know those don't look that great, and I don't remember the spinner belt being that decorated in gold and glitter or whatever. Um, they might be the originals, to be honest, because they have aged, but I can't really say, and I don't have any confirmation that those are replicas or not. They might have been, but because I think when they put them in the Hall of Fame, they don't touch them, so those might be replicas.
Yeah.
But someone can fact check in the comments, or I can go find out later. But it was cool to kind of have them there because it was a big moment to like he had the current belt in the center and talking about like what these belts mean, and then like each champion made them mean something because Eddie made the Intercontinental mean something, Hulk Hogan made this one mean something, and then John Cena regardless that the spinner belt was on like people like CM Punk as well and Edge, Cena held that belt the most, and so he made it mean something. But at this
And
time,
he
it's like
created it.
he created it. At this time, it's like he's the villain now, and now this belt, like people had, like he even brought up like people used to call this belt ugly. People had issues with it, and now it means something to people, but now it feels tarnished again because Cena is that hero that held it, and now he's the villain. So now it feels like it's tarnished because he was the main guy that held it. But Cody vows to make the belt that he has now mean something, and he pretty much proclaims, "You're not going to take it away from us." Because he didn't even include just himself; he said us, like the WWE universe. So that was a very powerful segment, and it's hyping me up. I don't know if he's going to be there this Friday, but um,
Yeah. I that might be one of my favorite, like one of my favorite Cody promos. Actually, when I'm thinking about it, because I thought that was like one of his best promos. Sucks that it wasn't against John Cena, but
yeah,
whatever.
those limited appearances are
Um,
like making me question what's going to happen in Mania. But we'll talk about that.
yeah. I also wanted to talk about the great match between Rey Fenix and Berto. Bro, Berto, he's turning, right? Like obviously, but it's just
He's
I don't
turning.
know.
He's already heel, isn't he?
Well, no, he's gonna like betray Legado del Fantasma.
Oh,
He's gonna go on a singles run, clearly, after WrestleMania. Because Andrade is doing the whole carrying cross thing where he's like, Berto, you're so much better than
I
this,
cannot
Berto.
wait to talk about carrying cross. I am so ready for. I didn't have it. I didn't even. Have, I you reminded me of that. Thank you. That man is.
Ugh.
What else? Ray Phoenix defeats Birdo, and you said that's gonna. Okay.
Yeah, because I think it's gonna be interesting to see Berto on a singles run because he's really good in the ring. I feel
Yeah,
like he just needs a
I wish
bit
they.
more,
Yeah, I wish they
like, we need
when
more
he.
of his character.
Yeah, I wish they pushed him better when he first came in and stuff. Because I mean, he had that. Yeah, he had that feud with Andrade, and they bring that back up. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. I wanna talk about Chelsea Green getting counted out. I'm sorry. Your United States champion gets count out loss against Zelina Vega a week before WrestleMania, and then you don't even put her on the card. What are we doing here? We're burying these titles. We're burying these champions at this point.
I
Like,
really wonder if SmackDown was taped this week, but given that SmackDown's going to be in Vegas, I don't think it's taped. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do there. I was expecting them to have at least Chelsea versus Zelina at Romania, or at least a qualifying match. I don't know where they're going to
yeah,
go with that. I feel like they're going to save that for something else. So
backlash
yeah,
maybe.
probably Backlash. I mean, yeah, because I remember the one time, because I remember when Backlash was in Puerto Rico and Zelina had that opportunity, it didn't go so well for her. So like redemption in Backlash, even though this isn't, it's not been confirmed. It's been confirmed to be in the states. So, um, mm.
Which is lame. What's the point of backlash if it's in the States?
Well, I mean, they
Anyway,
just came back from a European tour, so we're gonna be in America for a very long time
fuck
until
America.
until.
I'll say it.
Anyways,
This is not political. I just hate American crowds.
yeah, you can do crowds, just don't say people anyway. But no, I mean, I think up until August, because I think they're going back into some European stuff around August. I saw, because I
Mm,
think like SummerSlam's like, yeah, around like I think around after SummerSlam they go back into some like European places. Um,
Tonight's SummerSlam's gonna be
oh, I
interesting.
forgot about that. Yeah, tonight SummerSlam, dude. We're pretty much gonna do probably the same format on like
Yeah.
how we're doing it, where we're gonna predict, and then they better
Ugh.
have some big stellar matches if you're gonna do 2 nights this year. Something's big gotta happen. I'm not even gonna lie to you. If you're gonna
Randy.
treat it,
Randy.
if we're gonna treat it
Or
like
as you
that,
say, Rock versus Cena, which I think will happen.
a little bit's doubting that, but right now, but I still want that to happen. But
Yeah.
Um,
I dude, Naomi cooking as a
she's
heel.
doing great as a
Where
heel.
was this her entire run, man?
Well, I mean,
She's doing so much better as a heel. Like, what the
that's
fuck?
probably what they were experimenting with. They like she did well as a face, but like she just really didn't have that hype attention.
It factor.
So now she's having the it factor as a heel, and it's working very well. Um, yeah, I'm ready to see how they do in that match. That's
She's like an evil villain. Plus, I love her catchphrase. What was it?
I don't remember.
Caution, prepare. It's like something for
Caution.
caution. Listen, all
Take
I know is it's
caution.
cool and it works for me. I think so.
She's
Something
doing
like that.
no, she's doing great. Like that's some stellar heel work right there. I'll tell you right
True.
now. I'm excited
True.
for that match. Um,
Yeah. Another WrestleMania snub is the Raw tag titles getting on the card, but the SmackDown tag titles are not? What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The SmackDown tag team division has been cooking,
have
and
they
the Raw
announced?
tag team division has been asleep. Yet they put the Raw tag team titles on the card, and they relegate the SmackDown tag titles to a simple 1v1 tag team match with Motor City and Street Profits the night on the SmackDown before WrestleMania. What are we? I
Oh,
can't, man.
so the title
Why?
match is this Friday, but it's on SmackDown.
Yes.
They could have done it as a pre-show because they always have a pre-show match, and I don't know what this year's pre-show match is going to be if there even is going to be one. They usually have a pre. They used to have pre-show matches like I remember one was like Sheamus versus Chad Gable or something. Like pre-show matches are kind of like they're still they're like shown live, but that's not when the show starts. But they could start doing pre-show matches again, like have them count, but it's not necessarily a part of the main show. I don't know. It's pretty much a dark match, but you still see it. So it's like they could do
Yeah.
that kind of stuff where like you have a pre-show each night and it still counts because it's during the show, just not on the main match card because they don't start until like I'm guessing they're starting at 7 both nights or something.
Um.
So like pre-show is like
Yes.
6 o'clock, 6:30. So like you have a 30-minute match each night before it starts, and boom, there you go. More time, even if it's not screen time, more time out in front of the crowds with these people. But they're really
Yeah.
focusing on these main matches.
Yeah, I'd prefer that over having it on SmackDown. But like, why? It should have been a bro. It should have been a ladder match at WrestleMania. I'm like, what are we doing, man? I would take the SmackDown tag titles over the Raw tag titles any day of the week. But no, they're like, yeah, let's do the Raw tag titles at WrestleMania. Honestly, the only thing that could ever justify the Raw tag titles being on the show over the SmackDown ones for me is if somehow Big E returns, which isn't gonna fucking happen. So this is bullshit.
No,
Dumb.
yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, they need to hopefully they have some big things planned for Mania that like are because there's some things that are like they always do during Mania that get changes your thoughts about how the show's gonna go. Um Both nights are gonna be like one's gonna be better than the other, obviously sometimes, but hopefully they're good within each other. But um
Yeah. That's all I had for SmackDown.
I
So,
it's all I know is like for SmackDown, I mean, you have Jacob standing tall over LA Knight, but like most of that doesn't matter yet until like we see what happens Friday night. Uh,
yeah.
that was pretty much like all that kind of really happened Friday. Not
Okay.
too because if I can look again, not too much. I don't even want to pull it up, but like not too much really happened. But for Raw, Raw had some gems. Raw had a good bit of gems.
Dom for champ. Dom for champ. He is going to be champ. Give me him.
No, the
Anyway.
tensions are rising with a lot going on. You had Finn versus they couldn't give anything to Finn, dude. I knew I was like, I wonder if Finn's gonna get buried here by Penta. He's already buried. Sorry, Finn Balor. If either he was gonna get a one over Penta or Penta was gonna beat him. No, they didn't even let him do that. He lost in disqualification. They came in, beat Penta's ass. Braun came in, and I really thought they were gonna recreate when Carlito got his ass beat and speared, but Carlito ran away. But Braun's still
I
looking like a
would too,
beast.
bro.
But I tell you this right now, like when we get into predictions, you'll know exactly where I'm going with this. But I, anyways, but that was I love that segment. I love that tension there. Definitely, there's going to be definitely a career change for not a career change, but like a storyline change for either Finn or Dom during this. Obviously, Penta as well, and Braun, because Penta's getting his first WrestleMania. Penta and Braun getting their first WrestleMania match. Um,
True.
Even though kind of Stand and Deliver is in the same. I'm pretty sure it's in the same arena.
Uh, I don't
I
remember.
think it's in the
But
same arena because I know Stand and Deliver was like matching the. It was in. They're all in. They were in Philadelphia last year. I think it's the same arena, but I think they kind of like changed shit around. But um,
all right.
he technically was at Mania before, but that was their Mania. But this is his first official Mania match, and Penta's, who's only been here since January, which is insane. He's already moving up.
Yeah,
Don't know where he would go
that's
from this, but I
crazy.
know he's going to get pushed to like a big title scene sometime by this.
Yeah.
And Braun's definitely going to drop it, and Braun may go into the world title scene. I can see him like, I could see
Mm,
him. That was just fun, and this is like I know this is probably going to. This is not this is not part of the prediction yet, but I
not a
could.
prediction. It's a spoiler.
That's right. I love it. I was gonna say, like before we even get to the predictions, talk about it. If the chances were to be in Jay's favor against Gunther and he wins, I could see them setting up another feud with him and Braun for the world title.
Mm,
Only
I
because
see it.
like they had history during the IC title and then Jay moved on. But Braun had that, Braun was like, "I'm gonna be face again," and then Braun obviously betrayed that and went back, and then they kind of ended that poorly after he lost to Braun. So I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if Braun is the next challenger because I don't know who else could be the next challenger because I know for a fact if that happens, Gunther's going off TV for a minute. Anyways, so
Yeah. Who would challenge Jay at it? Wow.
it'll
Wait,
be
you brought
very
up a really good
interesting. It'll
point.
be very interesting.
Yeah.
I could see that happening because I don't see Braun taking any time off anytime soon. I could see him going right into the world title scene. He's earned it. That man is over so much. Like every time people see him, it's who 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 who. Even though
Who,
when it
who,
start,
who, who?
even though every time it starts off, it sounds like they're booing him. But once you start hearing it, then they're like, ooh, 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 because like he came onto the main roster as a heel and
Dogs
gradually
rocking.
he pretty much is a heel, but because he's against like Dom and Finn, he's the face again. He's like in a neutral kind of like face, but I think he's slowly
He can
back
be
into.
either.
I think he's slowly back into babyface. He could be tweener, but
Yeah.
he's pretty much like they're rooting for him regardless. If he were to fight Sheamus, like they'd probably be
True.
rooting for Sheamus for the IC title, but like they wouldn't be mad if he won, if Braun won.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
He, uh,
Yeah, because now I'm thinking about it, there's not a lot of good contenders for the World Heavyweight Championship when you
no,
look at
like
it.
once Jay gets it, because Gunther's pretty much ran through so many people. Jay now has to like have people come after him, and you got to look at who is on Raw at the moment. And well, I mean, I could see Braun just like having that storyline with him. So we shall see. And no telling how long Jay's reign would ever be, but
Yeah.
um,
I don't think it would be that long, but
no, uh, man, that the CM Punk Reigns Rollins that promo, dude.
oh yeah, man.
I don't know how you felt about it, but when he lined up the chair shot, I had so much PTSD from when he first betrayed the Shield. I don't know how to tell you how I felt. My jaw was on the floor when he did that again because he had the Shield kind of attire on. He had the vest, the black vest on. He had leather black pants, and it occurred to me that he was wearing Shield like attire, but it slipped my mind after that because the promo was so good. And when he's when Roman has finished, you know, spearing Punk, I see that steel chair in his hands, and I'm like, holy shit! It's literally poetry in motion. He's doing it again. And then while they're on the ground, Punk is Dean Ambrose. Roman is in the same spot that he gets hit in, and Seth is standing over them. And for the first time in a long ass time, they're booing the shit out of Seth. Like real booing. Like usually they're like, oh, like, and they're like small boos. No, they're booing the fuck out of him. Not like the fuck like crazy Dom heat, but like there's boos alongside the like they're realized they're witnessing this shit nearly probably 11 years since it happened, maybe 12 years ago he did this same shit and he's done it again. And my god, dude, my jaw was on the fucking floor. I was like, there's no way they recreated this shit again. Holy hell, dude. It's God, the PTSD. I was like, there's no fucking way. But I was like, that came full circle because like they did it full circle last year at WrestleMania. Roman gave Seth his payback, and did he did it
That's what's
again.
awesome.
So now it's like, what's gonna happen at the Triple Threat? We'll talk about that. But that entire promo was amazing, and not to mention
Paul
because
Heyman made his choice.
not to mention there's some quotes in there that I'll explain that Seth did that you might not have understood. He said
Oh.
he brought up best for business. It's best for business. What I did is because it was a thing during
I got that
2014.
one.
Yeah, 2014 and 15 during the authority era. That was the saying after everything that they did. We're doing what we're doing because it's best for business. He betrayed the Shield because it's best for business. So many damn callbacks and stuff that like this feels like this is going to be the ultimate finale to all of that. And now Punk is involved because he was involved with the creation of the Shield. So now it's all coming full circle. Sucks that Dean is no longer, or John Moxley is not going to be involved in that.
Well, he has like 80 spikes in his back.
Yeah, and people stop saying that he's going to show up. Dude, literally his contract is like extended to 2027 with AEW. He's not going to be, unless Tony Khan
He's forever
and Triple
AEW,
H
bro.
was able to, come to agreement and have a forbidden door kind of a merger. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, he's forever AEW at
Yeah,
this point.
he's forever AEW. Like, cool. It's like he wants to do what he wants to do, and and even if he was, I don't think he would come back for that. He's not gonna do. He's not gonna be like CM Punk's mindset. Where, oh, Vince is gone. Well, I can. No, he wants to go somewhere, and he's feel loved at AEW. That's where he's gonna stay.
He wants to get stabbed.
Yeah, that match. I don't want to get that out of my mind, but it's such a cool concept. I'm really hyped for this match, and I can't really tell who's. But we'll, I keep wanting to say something, but we're not in this predictions part yet. We still got to get through the rest of Raw.
I mean, that's all I have for
Your buddy Grande. How's he doing?
What
How's
do you mean? He's just doing what he's
how's
normally
he
doing. I
how's he
don't know
doing?
what you're talking about.
Why didn't Chad come out with him? Why did Chad randomly leave? Why how did that's funny. Like he came out as soon as Chad Gable was sent.
Chad didn't randomly leave. He was kicked out
Yeah,
by the
I was gonna
ref.
say he was kicked out, but like then Grande Americano like came back. It's crazy, like it's crazy, Chad.
Not the same
It's
guy,
crazy that
bro.
it's crazy
We've
that
seen them
Chad.
in the same room. It's not the same
It's
guy.
crazy to me that Chad was able to change his singlet so quickly and then come right back
He's
out.
not, because it's not Chad Gable. How many times do I have to tell you and all these other fools that it's not Chad Gable? It is the luchador El Grande Americano. Okay?
If veins
There
could
is.
pop out of my forehead, they are right now. Listen, man.
Oh my
That
god.
mask was so close to slipping off. It's going to night one, and we're gonna come back Sunday for Monday for the podcast, and I'm gonna prove all of you
With
wrong.
my belt.
I'm not. Yeah, your belt. No, buddy. Don't even. No. You have no idea. It's gonna be mine. I'm gonna be the first one of 2025 and the longest
For
reigning.
sure.
I'm gonna be the longest
For
reigning
sure. For sure.
again.
For sure. For
Anyways,
sure.
I think the damn metal plate in the head, but thing's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But like, I guess that's a way for him to cheat.
Really?
Well, it's weird. Like, it's a little metal thing to put. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird how he just puts it in. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's
That's
like
kind of fun.
it's obvious it's there, but it's like it's just kind of like a random ass little metal plate you have, and you. Either way, diving headbutt's
It's
pretty
smart.
cool. It's crazy that Chad. I mean, Grande
Not Chad.
has
It's
adopted
El
that. No, I
Grande.
said Grande.
Respect him.
I can't respect him. He's doing my boy Ray wrong, and Ray is gonna kick his ass.
Ray's a deadbeat dad.
All right, buddy. Okay, dude. Yeah, because your favorite's Dominic Mysterio. Dude, Dominic deserves everything he fucking gets from his dad. Okay, he deserves every
No, he
beating in the book.
doesn't, bro.
I want him to
Ray
get
is
the
a
belt,
deadbeat.
dude.
Dom is the greatest wrestler of all time. Did you just mute
Ray.
on me? How
It was an.
dare you, sir? How dare you?
It
How
was an
dare
accident. Shut your mouth. Listen. Know your role. Listen.
Know your rule.
Listen. Ray is the best damn WWE dad ever. Besides, I don't know anybody else, but listen, he's the best damn dad in the WWE. He did everything for that kid. He did everything. He got him back in custody against Eddie Guerrero. Rest in peace. You listen. You listen to me. He's the best damn dad just because he chose Edge over his own son to beat the
He's a
Judgment Day.
deadbeat.
That is not why he did it to help out Edge. He did it to defeat the Judgment Day.
Cared about
Dominic wasn't
Mysterio,
ready.
okay?
Dominic wasn't ready.
He was
Dominic
always
wasn't
on
ready.
the road. He never
Dominic
cared about
wasn't
his
ready.
son. He never
Dominic
cared
wasn't
about
ready.
his family.
He cared. Dominic wasn't ready. Dominic wasn't ready.
Dom
He's
was
ready
plenty
now.
ready. And he proved that every single day that he was in the Judgment Day.
He wasn't ready.
That every single day.
He wasn't ready. Keep coping. He wasn't ready. He's ready now.
You keep coping.
But he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
He is the greatest wrestler of all time.
Disrespectful
and the greatest
little
luchador
shit
of all time. Rey Mysterio is a deadbeat who can't even care about his own son. Has Rey ever apologized? No, he hasn't, has he?
Okay.
Because he's a deadbeat who doesn't care about his son. It doesn't matter if your son's a dick. You still have to try to be a good father. But does Rey try? No, he doesn't. He's completely given up on Dom. And all he does is insult him instead of trying to support him.
I'm gonna let it out on the line here. Dom's an ungrateful piece of shit. Okay, how about that? So he's an ungrateful little bitch. He is an asshole. He got everything from the Judgment Day, and then he turned on Rhea because he wanted more. He wanted a blonde chick who was a psychopath, and he turned on Rhea.
That choice, he made the right choice.
Anybody would have made that choice, dude. I would have stayed with dude.
No, you wouldn't have.
First of all,
why? Because Liv cared. Liv didn't insult him every single time. Liv called him daddy instead of making him call her mommy. Liv got him chicken tendies, a PS5, anything he goddamn asked for, and he got him title opportunities. Liv Morgan got more for Dom Mysterio than Rhea Ripley or his fucking father ever did.
Liv's a whore. Anyway, let's continue. So, no. Liv's doing great in the character work. He's obviously doing better. Rhea. No, if you go back full circle, Rhea did pretty much make that man submit into the Judgment Day. No, he definitely did get pulled into it, and I think he was very terrified. That's why he stayed. But no, he's doing great where he's at. Definitely, that man needs to get a belt right now. But anyways, are you done, sir? We're gonna move on to NXT. Yeah. Because you just got done watching it. No, I didn't watch it, obviously. Okay, I didn't watch it. I didn't know what was going on. But, I mean, I think that might be all of Raw, right? There's nothing else too crazy, too special with Raw?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. There's a few things on NXT, so, we're going to be talking about this. So, Page, all ego. You gotta kill me to smile. Versus Ricky Starks at Stand and Deliver for the North American title. That'll be cool.
My friend, it is Saints. Ricky Starks does not exist.
Oh, my bad, bro. Okay, sorry.
Dude, get it right, dude. I cannot believe you at all, dude. You go through that rant and you forget.
Right. You're right.
Anyways.
You're right. But then, they were doing the whole who's going to qualify for this North American title ladder match to do this, and Tatum Paxley got a match. By the way, people, Tatum Paxley is my third favorite wrestler of all time, so fuck all of you. And I don't know why.
Damn,
listen,
all right.
I'm just tossed up.
All right, dude.
I'm still mad about the Dom thing. Anyway, I'm still heated. I'm heated. But listen,
and that's what we call rage bait.
To get into, I was so excited for Tatum to get into this into this ladder title match for the North American title, and then
Are you
they were
pushing?
like,
Actually, you know what? We ain't even gonna get into that yet. We'll get into that because
but then
we're also gonna do
Lola
stand and
Vice,
deliver predictions as well, but they will not count towards the belts.
yeah.
And we're now going to get copyrighted for that. If you heard that, that might not have picked up, but you know the Joe Hendry theme is his alarm, and yeah, hopefully that didn't get picked up. And Joe, you know what, Joe Hendry be fine with it. He might show up on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Say his name and he appears. But no, so Lola beat Tatum for this qualifier match, and I'm not gonna lie, I screamed fuck out loud and started cursing out Lola Vice. Nothing against her. I just love Tatum Paxley, and I was mad that she lost and doesn't get a title opportunity at Stand and Deliver. But then she still gets a match at Stand and Deliver, so it's okay.
Who's she
Because she will
facing off
be
against? Oh wait, I have it pulled up. I think,
it's a 4-way tag team match, so
which is probably not going to
yeah.
lead to anything.
No. No. But listen, man, I want more for Tatum, okay? She's so good. She needs more. Give me more. Feed me more. Reference.
Calm down there, right
Um
back. All right, he's gonna get mad and he's gonna talk shit about us on this podcast. Okay.
yeah, for real. Um, nah,
What?
bro, I need Tatum to win. No, I got super mad when she lost that
Yeah,
qualifying match. I'm not gonna lie.
it's like
I was upset.
the small single stuff or like that she does fine and great and like the tag team stuff, but
Her
when it comes to
character work is
singles,
so good.
they don't treat her like well with the single stuff. Like she's gonna get a belt at some point. She's definitely like gonna be a runner up for something.
She did.
North American could be it, but whoever wins North American and Stand and Deliver is definitely gonna hold it for a while. Um
Yeah.
for sure. So
But at the end of the day, I'm just happy that I have my 3 favorite wrestlers at WrestleMania weekend. I have Dirty Dom, Io Sky, and Tatum Paxley. They're all on the cards. Well, I'm happy with that. You know? So, but they also had Hank and okay. I hate gauntlet matches in WWE. I hate them because we just had one with Lyra and Valkyria, and they started at the number 1 position, right? And they beat every single team. This like babyface, they have to go through the whole thing, right? And then on NXT today, we had the exact same thing for Hank and Tank. Another gauntlet tag match where they started at number 1, they had to beat every other team and go against the odds. Like if that's all a gauntlet match is, like what's the point? I want to see a gauntlet match where it's not just a person who starts first and is a babyface gets to the very end. Like what? I want to see something different out of a gauntlet match. And I've seen 2 gauntlet matches that had the exact same formula and the exact same match psychology like in a week from each other. And I'm just like,
the
what's
Gauntlet
the point?
Eliminator match in 2K25 is a prime example of that. Like all now they're obviously not gonna do that in real life because if they were to, it'd probably be like the 10 entrance options because you can do up to 30. Like they could do that where like random guys come out and they just fight and stuff. But like yeah, gauntlet matches of like it's the 1v whatever. Usually like that person who comes out ends up winning it to like survive usually. But yeah, it would be
Yeah.
cool like if they get eliminated and then like someone else advances and progresses. But if it's just them taking on all those guys and they still come out on top, it's like yeah, that kind of is like okay, that just made it seem like predictable that they were going to win regardless of like all those guys going through. And I don't even know who Hank and Tank is. I got to pay more attention to this damn show because like
Wow.
I'm limited to what I can do, man. And I don't want to see an openly say, hey, I'm going to pirate it because I'm not going to do that shit openly. I'm going to say that
Yeah.
shit. So it's like if they if Netflix gave us the resources to all three damn things, which they
Well, they
should.
do for me.
I don't know why they won't do it for the states. I don't know what it is, but like if they did that for us, I could watch all three shows and not have
Yeah.
to say, "Oh, what happened, Krodok?" Like, yeah, it's a good thing he's able to watch them because I can sit here and have the notes for him. But because I'm interested in these people and
Yeah.
NXT and Stand and Deliver and like, but I mean, Jesus,
Yeah. Hank and Tank is a tag team, but they've been having this storyline where they're like getting advice from like the Hardys and like SmackDown and Raw tag teams. That's been like their whole storyline. They're getting advice from all them, yet they still lose like all their matches. And then they
right?
just won this, and now they're gonna be fighting Fraxium at Stand Deliver for the titles. So
Yeah,
cool, I guess. And
yeah,
then the NXT parking lot proves to be the most dangerous place in all of wrestling,
it has been
as
the last. God damn, who got
as the
attacked?
D'Angelo family and Dark State brawl with each other. You know,
Oh, okay.
when the underboss goes against the Don's orders and does this behind the Don's back, by the way. The Don comes and saves the underboss and Luca, and then he's like,
Was it Shannon? Shannon Stacks?
Stacks. Yeah. Stacks, why aren't you listening to me? I didn't authorize this. I had a plan, Stacks. I had a plan. But you didn't listen, Stacks. Listen, this isn't what I want from you, Stacks. Anyway, he does the whole, like, blah, 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 blah.
That right
But
there
the
was
underboss
either
didn't listen.
that was Krodok trying to be Tony D'Angelo, and Tony D'Angelo trying to be Dutch Vanderlyn from Red Dead Redemption.
Is
That
that?
was yeah. I had a plan shit like reminded me of that. That's his whole lingo in that game. If you know that game, dude, that's all right. He had a plan.
All right. But anyway,
Sorry.
this makes me have a theory. Does the stacks turn on the Dawn at Stand and Deliver because they have a match with Dark State. It's going to be like a 6-man tag match. The family versus Dark State. Does that mean that the underboss is going to turn on the family? Because he might. Because the underboss looked pretty mad, and the Don was going on down onto the underboss. He was belittling him. He was like, "What the fuck are you thinking, Stacks? You need to think these things through." So it's
Yeah, at
like,
first there you
why is
started
that gonna
sounding like you were from New Orleans, and around the Bayou area, like, all right. Turning on Stags, you know what I mean? I was like, all right, where's he going with this? Is he going Italian or is he going New Orleans?
listen, I'm
Freaking
trying my best.
post segregation New Orleans voice, like, damn, all right.
I'm trying my
You
best,
remember
okay?
that's where the Mafia game is set in. It was reminding me of that shit. I was like, whoa, did he play it? No, I mean, yeah, shit. So what are they facing each other at Stand and Deliver?
Yeah, and it's just got me thinking, what if Stax is secretly the leader of Dark State?
That would be fucking insane. Honestly, some character
I know.
development from Stacks. Then that sucks because that would lead to the family breaking up. No,
I
dude,
mean, I think it's
imagine.
gonna happen. I think they're
I
setting up a
imagine.
family breakup.
No, I imagine like they merge the family with Dark State. Like this is like some giant,
Oh,
the biggest faction in WWE is on NXT.
damn.
Imagine.
Dude, that'd be
Uh,
sick. I don't
holy
think so,
hell.
but
No, that would be
yeah,
cool.
I do think that the underbosses are gonna turn on Tony at in some way at Stand Deliver. I don't know if he's gonna be like the leader of Dark State or something like that, but I think he's gonna turn on him.
Mm,
Then
shall
Thea
see.
Hale's back after Chase U being destroyed months ago. She's finally back.
Oh,
And new theme, I think. I don't really remember her old theme. If she had an old theme. I think she just had the
it
Chase
was
U.
Chase U. Yeah.
Yeah, so she has a new theme, and it's definitely a Death Rebel theme.
Oh.
But okay, wait. The theme's good after the like first bullshit one where it's like it like says the role model part, and then it's good after that for
Does
Thea
does her
Hale.
does
But
her theme say Thea Hell and then it just
no, it says I'm a grown woman.
you're joking.
I'm not. I'm not. Look it up right now. Listen to it right now.
I'll do it after I why I'm a grown woman. Dude,
But anyway,
are they just asking wrestlers to do this shit now? They're just like, all right, so you're gonna say a quote and then we're gonna play the beat.
I don't
It's
know,
not
man.
even Bailey that says role model. It's a fucking robot or AI or something. Everybody else says
Yeah.
their own shit. Like Damien, well, they took Damien Priest's All Rise out of it. His lyrics are still in there, but
All right.
even though I enjoy his lyrics part where he's like, "All rise for the punishment," I like that. And then when he starts speaking in Puerto
Mm,
Rican,
all rise for the outlaw.
but like I like that part, and that's fine. And but just the part just to announce your shit before you come out doesn't need to happen. Like, you don't want none. I'm like, okay, I know it's AJ. Just speaking. Well, I was gonna say, speaking of things coming back, Karrion Cross's theme is back. However, the American crowd didn't get to
Nope.
have fun with it because it went straight
Losers.
to an ad. Shut up. It went straight to an ad break as soon as they came out. I don't get what they're doing here with this shit. You could
No, I agree. It's dumb.
literally put ads before people come out, or like I don't care if you need to put an ad on a segment that I'm gonna miss, do it. But like I got to see it on the Instagram or WWE, not network exclusive. It was something else exclusive, but like they posted on Instagram. Got to see
Yeah.
it. I mean, I know the theme. I have it saved, but still got to like glad that he's back with that. Also, I want to talk about how great, like for a second, how great his development is. I know everyone's like, "Oh, he's buried, he's washed because he's losing a lot." No, dude, there's a story here. Okay,
Nah.
he's literally building himself up to become an ultimate villain of some kind.
Hell
Not
yeah.
saying he's going to be in the main title scene, but he's building shit, and also things that he's done has come full circle. When he
I
when
think
when
you
he
could argue
first
he's like the like main guy. Like he's the one causing all the
yeah,
storylines. I
when
think you
he
could argue
first returned, because this is before you were started watching. When he returned again,
BDSM.
he Drew McIntyre was a face. Did you say BDSM?
Don't worry about it.
Are you talking about Scarlet, or like were you talking about him?
No, no,
Okay.
no. I'm thinking about when he
Oh,
went
you mean his
like when
main
Vince like
main his
made
Raw
him.
debut? Okay, no. When
Yeah.
this was after he was released and he came back, he had full head of hair. Nobody knew it was him because he's been gone, and well, they're so used to him being bald. But a lot of people started recognizing
Oh,
who it was, and some people knew
oh.
his. Yeah, my eyes. People recognized his theme a little bit, and was But he came back. He attacked Drew McIntyre. This is when Drew McIntyre, before he fought Roman at Clash of the Castle 2022. Um, and Scarlet comes out, brings up the hourglass, tick tock. Well, ever since that happened, Drew turns heel, and the bloodline slowly fell apart. Now, obviously, that's storyline was supposed to happen, but because Karrion Kross never had another interaction with Roman after that, he was just there. So I thought they were going to set up like some later feud with Roman. No, that never happened. The hourglass was a tale for like the bloodline's going to fall apart soon. Your time's running out. And look what happened. And then now every person he mainly encounters with turns heel. The
Mm-hmm.
New Day has turned heel. He he's trying to get Sammy in there, but he didn't work. And now
Shinsuke.
He should work with Shinsuke. And now, even though, which is weird, because AJ
True.
just got out of heel, he's trying to get AJ back in there. He's mimicking his hair. I
Yeah.
love it that he mimics everyone's hairstyle. It's so cool. Not only that,
Yeah.
if you paid attention to his ring gear, he mimicked AJ's ring gear.
I did. Yeah.
The tights he had on, the knee pads, and then there's a patch there on like his left leg, like a little bit down near the thigh area, is his logo, but it's the same kind of patch AJ wears that has A and J on it. It's literally spitting image. It's so cool because we know Karrion Kross wears underwear or underwear tights. So it was interesting. Now, if he wore the gloves and shit, that would have just been sit right there. Like if he wore gloves like AJ does, that's just set in stone. Like you're mocking me. But no,
I like the subtlety.
I think that he's in control of his own storyline right now and somewhat creative himself because I'm
Yeah.
not saying that the creative that we have couldn't think of this shit. Triple H definitely could, but there's so much on Triple H's plate. I know for a fact they're letting Karrion Kross do some of this stuff because this is very, very. You have to be high level, like fucking creative, to be able to think I'm going to mimic every single thing that this person is. I'll be the evil version of them, and they just don't know it. That's how cool it is. I don't. He's so creative, dude. He makes me like remember like of how creative Bray Wyatt was, and I feel like there's some inspiration he's taking from him and doing his own thing. It's so cool. It's so cool when people have their own creations. He's
Yeah,
awesome,
he's
I think, and
awesome.
he definitely and he was a menace in NXT. He's still a menace. They're just building something.
Bold.
They're just building something. I'm actually starting to like him with long hair. He's actually growing on me. I'm surprised that it is.
Oh,
I
I love
like
him
it.
with long hair.
I like it, and he doesn't. He's definitely not shaving anytime soon because he even did an interview. He's definitely not shaving it off anytime soon. But man, oh man, I hope it builds up to something to where he becomes a menace again because he
Yeah.
was a menace.
Let me see if I can rage bait real quick. CM Punk long hair is the best CM Punk.
All right, buddy. Actually, you know what? I miss his long hair, but I mean that slick back era he was in. Phew. Yeah, your rage bait didn't work there. I don't know what you were. I yeah.
Hey, maybe it'll get maybe someone will get mad at it. Who knows? But I want to let's talk about the matches at Stand and Deliver. So the first match is Stand and Deliver, according to what I have here. I don't think this is the order of the matches. This is just the matches that we
I'm
have.
going off Wikipedia, and I know a lot of you are probably going to say, "What the fuck?" because Wikipedia is a bad source for things. But this is different because it's just the matches. It's not, facts.
Yeah, true. We have Metaphor versus Fatal Influence versus Gigi and Tatum versus Cora and Roxanne in a fatal four-way tag team elimination match to determine the number one contenders for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. God damn, that's a fucking mouthful.
Hmm.
Ugh.
The funny thing is, given that, it's like I want it to be Tatum and Gigi, but I just have, for some reason, given storyline base or whatever, it's going to be Cora and Roxanne.
Agreed.
I know the thing about
I hate
Jakara
it.
and Lash. It's like, yeah, but because they're awesome too, and they deserve more credit. But it's like, honestly, it could work because Gigi Dolan and Tatum are a great dynamic, and
But
this
they
could be
won't
Tatum's
win.
first title. But
They won't win.
and it's crazy to have a contenders match at a pay per view or a PLE.
Yeah, but they won't win.
Because then, yeah, I don't think Gigi and
I'm
Tatum will.
sad.
And again, this is not counting towards our predictions. This is pre predictions because this is like we
This is for
could
fun.
in the future if we wanted to, if we cared to, we could base it off this. But this is a separate. This is their WrestleMania, but it's not WrestleMania, and most of our predictions will be on the main show's PLEs, not
Mm-hmm.
the NXT because the NXT is its
Plus,
own.
it's also just not fair because you don't watch NXT.
Yeah, and I don't watch NXT, so I can't say, oh, I think there's some of these that I know probably will win, but I don't think But yeah, it's its own separate
Yeah.
world, and then also like it would clash in between because we have the main roster is PLEs, and then NXT has their own, so it would like there's so much would be
And
on the
they're
plate.
usually on the same weekend and stuff.
Yeah, it's too much on the plate, and then mostly on Sundays they have theirs, and I work, so like watching it would be
Yeah.
impossible. Um,
Yeah. So, yeah, I also think it's going to be Cora and Roxanne, even though it should be Gigi and Tatum. It should always be Tatum if Tatum's there. Tatum is the best. Tatum is life. Tatum is everything. Anyway,
yeah, I'm keeping that in.
let's
Anyways,
let's move on to the ladder match for the NXT Women's North American Championship, the vacant one. It's gonna be Zarya, aka what was her old name? Delta
it was
versus
Delta.
Kalani Jordan
Yeah.
versus Sol Ruka versus Izzy Dame versus Lola Vice versus Thea Hale.
Now, who had it originally? Who was the first one to have that title?
Kalani Jordan, the same match
Okay.
last year, also a ladder match at Stand and Deliver.
And
She
then
won it.
Sol Ruka or Lola Vice beat her for it, right?
No, it was Kalani Jordan. Then it was, um,
Fallon
oh
Henley. Fallon
yes,
Henley? Yeah.
yes. Then it
She's not
was,
even in this
then it
match.
was,
Okay.
yeah. Then it was Fallon Henley. Then it was Stephanie. So
Okay. Which Stephanie had to drop, unfortunately. So, I mean, between all these people, I heard people were rooting for Zarya a lot. It's definitely not going to be Thea Hill because she just came back. I don't think they're going to do some Charlotte treatment shit where she just came back and she's going to win it. She could now if she was on like I mean if this was during her run like as a sort of she wasn't really a heel, but if this was during her run with like JC Jane and like was kind of the bad guy or like the heel at one point and she was going for this, she was over at the time, she could have gotten it, but her just coming back already solidifies she's not going to win it. Lola Vice and Sol Ruka both, all of these people have been over. I don't know much
Mm,
about Izzy Dame, but between Lola Vice and Sol Ruka, they could because I know Lola Vice has been making a lot of waves, and we know Sol Ruka has. I
yeah,
for some reason seeing Zarya dominating these women.
yeah. I think it's
Pause,
easily
but yeah,
Zarya.
Zarya definitely could be the next one for this because her like debut was like being hyped up a lot, and like people were just completely behind her, and yeah, I think that'll be really cool to see her have it. But
It'd also be interesting to see how Sol Ruka and Zarya do in this match since they're tag team. So
yeah,
I think there might be like a little churn maybe or
I
something
mean,
like
honestly,
that,
that kind
but
of makes it feel like that maybe now in my head that one of those two won't win. But if that's the
yeah,
case, and if maybe their tag team relationship clashes with that, then I would probably choose Lola Vice. If that happens, Lola Vice. But if not, then
yeah,
yeah, probably Zarya over everything.
yeah. I love Thea Hale, but
No, she
again,
just
she
came
just
back.
came
There's
back.
no, yeah,
Yeah,
not really fair to the others.
true. Now this one, I'm be honest, is probably the easiest one for me, but I don't know, maybe I'm just I don't know. But Stephanie Vaquer versus Julia versus Jordan versus Jada in a four-way for the NXT Women's Championship. I think it's Stephanie Vaquer. I think she's
Yeah, I
retaining.
think she's retaining because Julia just came back. Stephanie hasn't had that belt in a while. Jordan Grace,
Yeah.
in a way, like, yeah, she was TNA Women's Champion, but I don't know if dropping it to her is right. And then Jada Parker, she's still making her waves. Definitely needs
Yeah.
more time. Stephanie needs more time as that champion. And I get it, like Julia, dropped it because of an injury. No. Yeah, she dropped it because of an
Yes.
injury, but dropping it back so soon doesn't make it clear. And also, this is their first
Mm,
big NXT PLE for these guys. And
true.
Julia technically made her way into the last year's PLE. Like, she didn't wrestle, but seeing this for Stephanie to win on a bigger stage like this makes sense to have her standing tall over four people. It makes her as dominant as she is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, probably, yeah.
Plus, she's really popular with the fans, La Primera. So, you know,
That's right.
the only one I could see winning is Jada Parker, just because they've been building her up a lot. But I don't think she's winning, sadly. But yeah, the next match is the tag title match with Fraxium, aka Nathan Frazier and Axiom, versus Hank and Tank. So I think it's clearly
It's
Fraxium.
definitely Fraxium because, yeah,
They haven't
those
lost the
guys,
titles.
those guys have
Well,
been
I
going
get they lost it for
crazy.
like 1 week, but
Yeah. Yeah, definitely Fraxium.
yeah. Then we have Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page. I'm taking Ricky Saints. He literally just won the North American title. There's no way they're taking it off him this quickly. But it is cool that it's like an AEW kind of like match kind of thing because they were both AEW, obviously. So
Yeah, it's crazy that I feel like this entire PLE is not gonna have many title changes except for maybe the ladder match because that's like
yeah,
kind of rubbing me the wrong way that I know none of these people are gonna like be There's not gonna be any new champions. But then again, that definitely happened at last Stand and Deliver. There wasn't many. But the thing about Stand and Deliver, it's their WrestleMania, but you can't treat it too much like a WrestleMania because WrestleMania has a lot of big moments sometimes. Like there could be some crazy like even TNA crossover like. Also, isn't
true.
Cora Jade still TNA champion?
I don't think so.
Did she lose it?
I think she lost it.
Okay, because if she
But
still had it, that would have changed my mind about the Cora Jade and Roxanne thing.
I'll
Um,
check though.
but if she still has it, that might change my mind about that match. Only because of that. Even though that's a different brand and a different, promotion, if they're
Yeah.
doing something with that still, and she's still over there doing that, I don't see her and Core winning it. I see GG and Tatum. But Metaphor, I mean, they've been around a while, so I wouldn't be surprised. But obviously, my vote is still Core, Jade, and Roxanne.
Fair enough.
So, but yeah, there probably
Um,
definitely won't be any title changes in this pay per view. So, like, it won't be much. Which would be crazy now if they did something crazy in the Obafemi triple threat, but I don't see. I mean, Javon could win it. I mean, it's a crazy. That's the thing about this.
wait,
This is such an
you
unpredictable.
forgot a match. Don't
Well, no,
go
I'm
there
not done.
yet.
I'm not going over there yet. But I mean, no, you can go ahead and go to the D'Angelo one.
Okay. Yeah, we have D'Angelo versus Dark State. It's obviously Dark State. It's their first PLE. They're winning. Simple as that.
Well, yeah, your
uh,
angle on Stacks probably
sure.
turning on him.
He's
It
also
would make
probably in.
sense to be honest. And yeah, their first PLE, and I get it. They already won over Femi and Trick and Javon, but that's because there was distractions and stuff and not good communication. Now you have a family who is communicating, so we could see on that. Definitely.
Jade is not champion.
Okay, Gorget is no longer, so yeah, it could go to those two. But I definitely could see Dark State winning in their own on their first PLE.
Yeah, they're definitely winning the first PLE. I mean, it makes no sense to make. Plus, I really think Stax is gonna turn on D'Angelo, so that'll make them lose. So.
Could happen. Could happen.
But yeah, the main event, I think probably Obafemi versus Trick versus Javon for the NXT Championship. This is by far the match I'm most excited for. I mean, these are like the top 3 dogs in my opinion.
I like how this is like
also,
Oba's second main event triple threat match. Well, I can't remember if this was the last main event was Dragunov and Trick, but I remember this is like the second like triple threat that Oba's been in because he was with Josh Briggs and Dijak. Phenomenal match. My
yeah,
God,
hell
that
of a
was
match.
insane. All big dudes flipping and shit off the damn. It is insane. I hope Dijak's doing very well in the Indies, but yeah, that was a great match. But now this one, whoo, gonna be having flips, kicks, big. Oh my God, this is gonna be something.
The Javon Evans spots are gonna go crazy, bro.
Oh man,
I mean,
believe my pick
Obafemi.
Obafemi, but I would not be upset if it dropped to Javon because out of these two, Javon's not had that title.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I'd love if
Javon
won.
Wouldn't be mad. Wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, but
See,
I
if that
mean,
happens,
I think
it makes
Oba's
you
gonna lose.
wonder. Yeah, because it makes you wonder where Oba goes from that if he loses it. Because usually when somebody loses it, they go to main roster. It's always like that's the chain for it. Because if you lose the NXT title, it's like where do you go from there? Do you fight for it again? Reuse storyline. Do you take time off, or
Trick
do you
fights
go
for it again? So
Yeah, and it's like Trick lost it, but he never went to main roster like everyone thought he was going to. Because that Carmelo feud didn't finish. Well, it did finish, but Carmelo
he lost it
left.
twice.
Yeah, he lost it twice, so like it wondered where he was going to go. But he stayed, and he's still fighting for it. So, but Oba has had so much success. Like, I mean, if you got to be honest here, he's had a lot more success over Trick than really anything. Because he had the longest NXT North American reign. I don't think he's had the longest men's NXT because that's right currently. Because I'm not even going to talk over time. But currently, I think that still goes to Dragunov. He had it for a good while. Well, it might be Braun Breaker. Yeah, I think it's Braun. Braun had it for a while.
Yeah.
Dragunov was probably second place. Please come back, dude. Dragon, where are you? I miss.
They
I
are at
do,
least gonna
dude.
wait until after WrestleMania.
Yeah, there's nothing for him on the card. There's nothing like no, he's not going to be mystery on it for Randy. Even though that's a dream match, I'm not even kidding. That's a dream match. I'd like to see that shit. That'd be cool. Dude, just yeah, but not the biggest dream match, but uh, please come back. Anyway, but that's those are our small predictions. They're not the biggest that affect this championship, but I mean it's good to like they are included. They're not like they're not. It's good to include them because I'm definitely gonna be watching it and he will too. So and we'll pretty much include it into our night one podcast since it's happening before night one. So it'll be included.
Yeah, Adam
Along with
Cole is the longest reigning
okay.
champion.
Yeah, that makes sense. Alongside the Friday SmackDown recap, but honestly, I don't really give a damn that much about the recap at that moment. But I will say shit before, but we'll probably be so hyped on dopamine
Wrestlemania.
or whatever it's called, whatever the opposite of that is, where you're very hyper adrenaline. There you go, in muscle something Cody Rhodes. But yeah, we'll be hyped up on adrenaline after like this man may not go to sleep. I don't know. I will go to sleep, but shit's gonna be. Whew, we have to save our talk for literally the next day for the podcast. We can't say shit. And yeah.
All right.
Ready.
Are you ready?
All right, now this is where I pause. And I'm about to do the pre-intro. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the WrestleMania 41 predictions. Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is set for one fall, or even the greatest predictions. And it's for the Prediction World Championship. Hailing in from the left, from YouTube, it's Krodok. And also hailing in on the right, I'm getting my directions wrong, it doesn't matter, is I am RedBeard, also from YouTube. And so pretty much we're going to just discuss, sorry, I can't speak today. I'm going to discuss the rules of how we do this championship, and how we're going to win it and how it's supposed to go. So pretty much the championship rules is you can only predict the winning team or person of a match. You can't win a prediction by guessing a DQ or cash in. So if there's a DQ match, it's an automatic, like, pretty much no points whatsoever. But you can't say, "Oh, I think it's going to end in DQ," because then if you get that right, it's kind of like messed up. Because like sometimes we have random ass DQs. Um, a cash in doesn't count as well. So like if I were to say like during the Damian Priest match, Drew McIntyre clearly won, or not Damian Priest match, the Drew McIntyre Seth Rollins, Damian Priest then became champion. No, that whoever guessed that Drew McIntyre was going to win, you win that match altogether. I think that's how we were going for it, right? Like you,
Yeah.
okay. If the match ends in a DQ, nobody gets points, like I just said. If the champion draws with the challenger, the champion retains. Previously, there was more of us doing this. So if there was a tie, but the current champion was lower in score than the challengers, the title would go vacant. But now it's the two of us, so if we tie, they just retain. Pretty much, there's no way to win it, and sometimes you can already tell that. Like the last pay per view, like before we reset it, I already lost at Elimination Chamber. I like got one match wrong, and that was it. And I was like, well,
I got all of
and
them right.
I didn't even care about keeping score, and I just watched the show like normal. But this one's gonna be different because this is the first time we're doing it for Mania. Royal Rumble was
13 total points. So they're
Yeah, Royal Rumble was kind of like difficult. We're gonna split them up too because how we do the score is like 3-2, 1-0, 2-0, 3-3. We'll split them up into nights so it's not too crazy, and then we'll combine them together, obviously. So like, oh, if you got
dude.
12 out of one wrong, we'll do that for night one, and then, or no, sorry, if you did, like, say you get 5, and then I get 6, it's like we'll do it that way, and then we'll show it on, we'll talk about it the first night one. We'll show the score. I'll put the score at the top of like who the hell was winning. Um,
Dude, the stress of night one is gonna be crazy. Like after night one's done and we
yeah,
know the score for night one, it's just gonna be like a stressful thing waiting until night
waiting
two
to
to see who
in
wins.
waiting, yeah, then waiting to talk about it. But I guess we can go ahead and talk about it. I'll start us off because we got a lot of great contenders for night one and night two. Oh my god.
Mhm.
And whatever, and like we said, the rules here is we lock these in tonight. It's whatever happens, but like we said, if something gets
Pop
announced,
and lock.
yeah, pop, lock, and drop it. If something gets announced this Friday, like if the Randy Orton gets a match, Chelsea Green just randomly gets her match, which I don't think she will, unfortunately, we will talk amongst ourselves off camera and we'll throw it in there, and then we'll whatever night it is going to be on. I'm thinking night two would be possibility because there's 6 matches on night two and there's 7 on night one. If they wanted to
Yeah.
do it even, which they can, I don't know why they're not. But if that happens, we'll update people on the first podcast of night one, and if it happened already, we'll say who won that. But we'll start it
Yeah.
off. I'm pretty sure they're not in match order, but it makes sense that this would be the match order. The War Raiders, Ivar and Eric, are going to be taking on the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods for the World Tag Team Championship. The Raw Tag Team Championships,
Which shouldn't be on the
which
card.
shouldn't be on the card because, yeah, he is right about. He's definitely right about it because
Oh, you're still so nice when you say those words. Say it again.
The War Raiders. He wants me to say he's right, chat. You're right. It is because like the way they've been thrown around, because like literally after they got off the Usos, or even Cody and shit, not even that, because they were still unified with Cody and Jay. They haven't been. They don't know what to do with them. It's like there's no tag teams. How is there more tag teams on SmackDown for men, less tag teams for women on Smack? I don't get it. It's all backwards. But they're not. They don't know what to do. And I
Yeah,
know what if I say anything.
SmackDown deserves
And
it
the thing
more.
is, I got to be careful here, because if I whatever I say and I lock it in, that's what I'm going with. But we can give our criticism what we think could happen and go this way, because if you think about it, if the War Raiders retain, well, then it's just going to go to another mediocre title defense. Because then who are they going to face next? And JD McDonough is still out for his injury. He's not going to face the Judgment Day again.
Well, the Judgment
Unless
Day is probably
Finn,
not going to be a
yeah,
thing
unless
in
Finn loses, but the
WrestleMania.
Judgment Day might be around. I really think in my heart that the New Day get their. This is probably would be their 7th tag title win. They have a lot. They're Grand Slam and like tag
Yeah.
titles. So I mean, I could honestly see them getting this. To be honest, to make sense here, I'm not going to even
Hmm.
say anything about like Big E getting involved. Like that would be crazy, but I highly doubt it. He talks at these damn things, but he's not really in character when he does. But honestly, my pick would be the New Day, because the War Raiders, as much as they're a great tag team, what do you do with them after that? They're not like, what do you do? Because like, to solidify the New Day as their heel, putting belts on them when nobody would want them to have them, definitely a good angle in my opinion. And then they could feud with other tag teams, which I don't know who they would feud with, but honestly, like it feels like the New Day would beat them, because the War Raiders have been kicking ass lately. So seeing the New Day
Yeah.
win in some form of like maybe cheating, uh, I really do hate that they caused their own match to lose a couple of weeks ago, but at Mania, and it's been a minute since they've held these belts, it makes sense to put it on them. If you think about it, I'm locking it in. The
Yeah.
New Day beat the War Raiders. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
Should I wait, or
Um,
should I wait until you do yours, or like I don't know. I just
I don't know.
I just went ahead and locked it in.
Okay. Um, yeah. See, now that you say all that, I also want to go with the New Day, but I already went with the War Raiders, so War
Oh,
Raiders is my answer. But listen, your argument made so much sense that I regret picking the War Raiders.
and
But
that helps me get very close to the PWC championship. Let's go. All right.
uh but yeah, no, I thought because the War Raider, because my thought process was, well, they haven't done anything with the tag titles now. Why would they start at WrestleMania? So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
And that was match one. And now we're down to the second match. Rey Mysterio versus Chet El Grande Americano. Sorry, I had some in my throat.
for sure, for sure.
This is a clear sweep. This has got to be Ray.
Yeah,
As
I
much
went
as
Ray.
you think he's a deadbeat, I mean, I know you know El Grande Americano's his history more than anybody, don't you? Yeah, you know
Yeah,
that's which is
he's a great
crazy.
guy.
It's
Been
crazy.
in Lucha Underground.
I love how like
Um,
you've never mentioned him until like recently, until he started showing up. It's
well, I have
very.
contacts in Lucha Underground. I know Vampiro, so yeah.
Definitely Ray. Now I could
That's a lie, by
see.
the way. I don't know Vampiro.
Now I could see like like a big brawl kind of happening where like maybe I was going to say Alpha Academy, American Made gets involved and tries to like do shit, and he tries to cheat, and then maybe LWO. I don't know how I'm predicting what's probably going to happen, like LWO coming out and stopping it, because I mean
LWO.
they've been fighting. I thought there was going to be a like a whole 6-man tag here, but they've been having 6-man tags and tag teams on Raw, so like a 1v1 between two luchadors and
Mask versus mask.
and a fraud luchador. Yeah, I said it.
Not a fraud.
He's definitely a fraud.
Not a
You've ever heard
fraud.
of American Luchador? We ain't even going to talk about El Generico. Um.
Have you ever heard of Canadian Luchador, brother?
Yeah. Anyways.
El
Yeah.
Generico. Did you know he's friends with Sami Zayn?
Really.
Yeah. Apparently,
Really.
like,
Yeah.
helped train
Oh
Sami
yeah.
Zayn.
Kind of like has the same kind
Yeah.
of beard and skin tone as Sammy. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know why. They're
Don't
so
don't fool,
similar, I
don't fool
guess.
yourself. The entire IWC knows it's him. Don't even try.
It's not,
They
bro.
literally
We're
know
not
it's
doing this.
him.
We're not
Oh, you're
doing
gonna
this
be
again.
flamed. You're gonna
We're
be
not
flamed.
doing this
You're gonna be
again.
flamed.
We're
The
not
IWC.
doing
He
this
told
again.
everyone knows it's him.
It's not
You're
him.
the
It's his
only one.
mentor.
You're the only one in the back seat. Everyone knows. Don't even. You can't try this with.
Bro's delusional.
Yeah, dude. We're gonna have to get your brain checked. Anyways, Ray's gonna beat him for that. I'm locking that in. Ray's winning that.
Yeah, Ray's obviously winning easily.
Ray
Not
loses.
even
Ray
close.
loses and gets beat up too much on like main roster shit. But
Well,
like,
he's just not gonna lose at WrestleMania. They're not gonna make
no.
Ray lose at WrestleMania.
Well, they did last year because didn't. No, he beat Dom and
Yeah.
I don't know.
They want the pop. They want the pop. They want the babyface pop.
Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
I have Jade because she's the one who came back, and I feel like they want to give her first WrestleMania match as a win to her.
Yes.
And I don't know. I just don't see her losing. I don't know why. I
No,
just don't.
there's nothing to like really. There's nothing to really like do now. Like it's crazy to me to think like if they're going with that Bianca being involved angle, which I still don't think she is anymore. She's way too focused on this, the championship to even focus on that. It clearly will be Jade because Naomi's been, if you think about it, has been kind of beating her ass in a way. Not really,
Yeah.
but like just yeah, I think it's definitely going to be her. I think it's going to
Oh,
be
it's
her.
proceed with caution. That's her new catchphrase.
Proceed with caution. Yeah, that's why she had caution
Mhm.
tape on her ring gear. But no, I really think Jade's going to get that comeuppance, and she's definitely going to win. Locking it in for Jade Cargill for me. So.
Also, by the way, first women's WrestleMania match in a long time that isn't for a title, so that's cool. That's cool.
You are correct. You're very correct.
Yeah. Let's go, women. I support women.
L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. Now, this one is going to be. You already know it's going to be. With Jake, like, LA Knight is amazing, but with Jacob, that dude is unhinged. You already know this is going to be insane. His first WrestleMania match, and it's a title match, and
he's winning.
He is definitely winning. LA Knight may or may not get pushed to a better title scene, but Jacob having this belt and he deserves it. This man has been on a rampage. This man has been he pretty much has carried the new bloodline storyline. Like, I mean, we can't forget our goat Tongaloa. I wish
Just
he
not
would.
acknowledging Solo.
No, because I think
Bro, he was
the
so
real
funny, bro. He did so good during
he's
the summer.
amazing. Listen, he's amazing, but the
He
best
did so good during the summer.
the tribal chief Tongaloa dude, he needs to come back,
True.
bro. He needs to come
True,
back, and
bro. With
Tama's
his eye
there.
patch. Bring his aura
Tama's
back.
there. Tama's yee, but like Tongaloa,
Yeah,
man,
we need the goat. We need the
need you to
goat.
come
The
back.
tribal
But
queef. Tribal
Jacob's definitely winning that
Tongalo.
match. Like to drop it to someone that kind of sucks. That like I guess it made sense. Honestly, yeah, because like I feel like there would have been no chemistry. Like Shinsuke's great, but I don't think there would have been any chemistry there to drop it to Jacob from Shinsuke.
But Shinsuke should have
But
done better with
Shinsuke,
it. They did
yeah,
nothing
well,
with
they didn't.
him.
Well, he did his best. They didn't book him well. They had him come in
Exactly.
as this villain, and they could have made his run, but then they realized we don't have many
They're
mid carders
releasing
to
him.
throw him
I'm
into.
calling it now. They're releasing him next wave.
I mean, the dude went literally was in Japan and then came back, and then they were like, "All right, here's a title." Well, yeah, but
Yeah. I think they're
Jacob
releasing him.
locking it in. Jacob is winning. That is
Same.
yeah. A lot of these are probably going to be like ties and stuff, but like some of these, when we start getting into the the unknown. It's because we're getting
The
very close to that.
unpredictable.
Because this next one, oh my god,
This one is a bit
Tiff
polarizing. Yeah.
Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the women's championship.
I could see it either way,
This
honestly.
one is like, I have so much to say because literally I'm getting so sick of their damn feud. The last week's segment
What?
was great. Well, here's the thing. You know my feelings on Charlotte. Listen, Charlotte
I
is an
do.
in-ring competitor. She's great. I will not lie on that. I'm not trying to gas her up. I'm not trying to pretend that I care. She is a great competitor. It's the character that they give her, and I can't help but say that half of that character was forced on her or asked to
No, I
be put
think
on
that's
her
really her.
from Flair. But I think mostly it is her. I was hoping for a change when she came back. Obviously, that didn't happen.
Mhm.
I don't necessarily believe she needs to go away. Like I've expressed it before that I've like wouldn't care for her to be there, but like I don't like how they're doing this run. I don't like how they're just handing it to her like that. How they just handed. There were so many good contenders in that damn Royal Rumble, and like I should have
Yeah,
chose
but
her
who would
as
you
my
rather fight
prediction.
Tiffy?
Well, people have been wanting that. They've wanted her as a future match
Exactly.
for Charlotte, but the way that this has been built up is like now they're rethinking that shit
Oh,
because
well, the build is horrible. I'll agree
if
with
the
that.
build came, if she, because like the thing is, it made it clear as day that she was going to win. I just didn't want to see it. And I was rooting for either Io or Liv because Liv was pretty much the runner up last year. Liv was like the last person.
Not to mention she
Well,
had the
no,
best
she was the runner
2024.
up. Yeah, she was the best run. She was the runner up for 2023. She was the last one with Rhea before Rhea eliminated her, and then she was like the final four or final three with Rhea, Bailey, and no, well, no, Rhea wasn't out until WrestleMania, but like with those final, Rhea wasn't in that match, but like she was in the final. So then her being in the final near the end, in 2025, it was like hoping that it was either her or Io again, and then they both got eliminated at the same time. Two of our
And the
picks got
dumb
eliminated,
nice spot.
and yeah, and I'm really hoping maybe they give it to
Dumb
Liv in 20.
spot.
I wouldn't be mad if they gave it to her to 2026.
They
Um,
won't.
but they probably won't. But I feel like she needs to win at least one Rumble in her
She
future.
does, bro. She's been in every single one.
Because Io has won. No, she hasn't.
Yes, she is.
Which one did she win? It was 20.
Liv hasn't won one, but she's been in every single
No,
Rumble.
I'm saying Io hasn't won one. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
No. So I
She
mean,
should.
but between this, Tiffany Stratton, and Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't into the. I think this is going to be. Listen, okay. This build has been dog shit. But once the whole. Hey, dude, Kaiser slid into my DMs stuff and the whole going off script, I've been like, you know what? It's so dumb. It's so awful. I'm excited for it. Like it's gonna. I always knew that the build for this doesn't really matter because they're gonna put on a good match. You know they will. Like this is mainly just for the match to have the match, but the build is also so fucking funny and terrible that it's
Yeah.
so good at the same time. It's so bad, it's
It's
good.
just like.
So awful, it's good.
It's just like because I don't know where to go from here with Tiffany. Now, I have mentioned in the past, like, this might have been off camera. I don't even think I said it during a podcast, but I did mention, like, if something were to happen, a big name returns after Tiffany wins or Charlotte. Like, I sat in the back of my head. Now, I even said this for like the EO match, but then I thought, because I said this for the EO match because I thought it was just going to be her and Bianca. Now Rhea's involved, so I don't know what's going to happen there. But I told myself that if there was a perfect time for either Becky Lynch or Asuka to return at the end of this
Boo.
match would be perfect. Who did you boot for,
Boo.
Asuka?
No, I booed for both of them because that idea is awful. Anyway.
Well, here's the problem because like if Tiffany Stratton wins,
Yeah.
she either restarts her feud with Nia because Nia's been off TV. She either
Or they just bring Becky back after WrestleMania and
well
then
that's
she feuds with her.
well that's what I meant, but they still like the same thing for Cody. It's like you have to have people lined up to defend that title. If you're going to be the champion of that brand, you need to defend that any time of the week. And Cody did that ever since he's been champion. So Tiffany's going to have to do that since she hasn't really
He had like
defended it.
4 title defenses.
He's had a lot more than that.
No, he did not.
He defended it. Didn't he not defend it twice against AJ?
Sorry, he had 4 opponents.
AJ Styles, Kevin Owens. It doesn't matter with 4 opponents though. It's the amount of times that he still did defend it a lot.
But I guess it still counts as one feud.
But with Tiffany, it's like she didn't necessarily like. I don't even think she even have a 1-on-1 rematch with Nia ever.
Yeah,
she had that, and then I don't know what she had
a
else.
title match against Naomi.
Yeah, so like she's had that, but like I want to see her, possibly.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's just getting started after the WrestleMania thing. That's when it's going to get really started.
Well, the decision I'm about to go with here is either going to make or break my. I mean, this is one match too because it's clear that we probably. I mean, between the War Raiders one, the 3 after it is like obviously definitely going to be tied in a way because they make more sense. But with this one, I'm gonna.
I can see it either way.
Bite the bullet here and may go for Charlotte.
Wow.
And it's a. Like I said, she's great. It's an unfortunate choice because Tiffany has had her moment. Like she's had that belt for a minute. However, it feels like it's one of those Liv Morgan 2023 situations where she has it, she doesn't defend it much, she's not ready, she'll get a second chance. So I'm thinking here that this is going to be dropped to Charlotte. Charlotte may have a big name come back and either restart a Becky or Asuka kind of, because I know for a fact, I believe there is history with Asuka there. That is the best way to bring it back. Because from what I've heard in recent media, that Becky has no interest in coming back yet. That's what I've been hearing. However, that shit leads to something, and then people are like, "Oh, maybe she's lying." Like, no, but all I can see is like, where does Tiffany go from here? Does she continue this feud with Charlotte to SummerSlam or Backlash, or does Charlotte get someone after that? And
why can't Tiffany get someone after that though?
She can, but I just for some reason think this is a situation where she's fully not. This was a test, and they're going to give her a second chance in the future. This is what I feel. This is what I kind of feel, and that's why I feel like I'm going for the one choice that people are not going to choose is Charlotte. I feel like because she got handed that Rumble win, for some reason feels like she's getting handed this WrestleMania win.
I would agree with you if Tiffany didn't win it with the Money in the Bank briefcase. She won with the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think she'll lose. So
You're locking Tiffany?
Tiffany.
All right. So we're opposite on this one. And this is kind of one that I'm like, if I get it wrong, then it's like there's other chances out there, but hopefully this isn't the one chance and everything else. But yeah, I'll go with Charlotte on this one. It's like it's one that I was dreading to choose, but I'm trying to think in my head here, so I'm trying to be careful, but because we do have a title on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways,
true.
Gunther,
it's very important to it.
Yeah,
whoever wins has the title and the bragging rights.
This is becoming the podcast, and you guys are being involved in this too because you're watching this now unfold. This used to be a private thing, and now we're having this publicly, and now it'll be representing obviously the channel. Next title match, and I love having like 3 title matches back to back now instead of being too broken up. Gunther versus Jey Uso. Well, it's clear as day where they're going with this.
Yeah, Jey.
Yeah, definitely Jey. Locking that in already because
it would be the most over guy in the company.
It would be
overcoming the odds.
It would be so fucking crazy if they shut that down and gave it to Gunther, but I don't think they will.
They will not.
I could potentially see like people want that damn Cena and Gunther match one day. Maybe they'll get it. Maybe he'll jump into the world title scene because it seems from like how this has been going, every time Gunther loses a belt, he always goes and wins the next one. He had the IC for
True.
the longest. He won. Then he got the world heavyweight, and now he's probably going to go up into the world heavyweight. And like I've said before, like if Randy ever got that belt, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was some long term storytelling and Gunther came back for Randy. But we're not. Well, that's another day, so we'll have to see. But Jay for sure because he's definitely gotten better in the promos and this feud and Gunther's
Yeet.
definitely concerned and Gunther was we didn't even mention like Gunther was spitting some shit on the mic this last Raw, but
Mike at a Mike.
this is Jay's moment. Now
They
this
killed my mom. Yeet. They fucked my wife. Yeet.
Oh man, this triple threat's gonna be fucking insane, and it's really hard to even tell who I want to win here.
It was actually really easy for me.
You-
I I think it's easily Seth Rollins that wins here. And I struggle to think of why, but I just think in my head it makes no sense for Roman or Punk to win, and it only makes sense for Seth to win to me. I know Punk has Paul Heyman in his corner, and everyone's probably expecting him to win because of that, and because it's his big moment. He finally has his WrestleMania main event.
yeah, I was
But
about to say
I
that.
don't know. I just think that Seth wins because Roman and Punk screw each other over fighting over the wise men or something. And I think it just makes sense since Seth, like, I don't know. I just think Seth
No,
wins
because
here.
last week I believed that Punk was going to get it because it's his WrestleMania moment, but now and let people y'all are playing too much into the angles of what happens at every just because the champion or just because the challenger is left laying on the floor after a show doesn't mean they're going to lose the next Mania. Just because Roman Reigns and Punk were left on the ground and Seth was standing tall doesn't mean Seth's going to lose. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Triple H does everything he can to make shit unpredictable. Just because Cena was laying on the ground after the crossroads doesn't mean he could win. He probably will, but that doesn't mean shit anymore. It became because that was a pattern back in the day. Like Vince had that little pattern, and it was easy to see, and they thought, well, Triple H is doing it now. No, there would be times I'm pretty sure, like before, um, I'm pretty sure, like during before, like a segment or two or something before that match between Rock and Roman. I don't know, Rock, Roman, and Seth and Cody. I think Seth and Cody were like left on the ground, beaten, and then they lost that tag match. So yeah, it's not always the case. And yeah, just because Roman and Rock beat Seth and Cody didn't mean like, Cody was going to win. Cody was already going to win that Mania. That was just they needed to put a win on Roman and Rock that night. So it didn't matter.
Bloodline rules. Look
Yeah,
at
they
you.
don't always go for that anymore. It's like you're looking too far into it where it's like, the champions. No, I do agree with you because I was thinking about this because
Hey.
people were in some regard were like that favor that whatever now I think it's a joke now because like he's like you owe me a favor
Yeah.
when we don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's not how a favor
Um,
works.
no, we'll probably learn it maybe, but I do
Well,
see Seth
no, Seth
standing.
was like, he was literally on that, like, on Raw. He was literally basically said, yeah, you don't really owe me a favor. You can choose to give me a favor, but you don't owe it to me. He's like,
Well,
it's
yeah,
because it's your choice, Paul Heyman, because you choose Paul Heyman. Look at that, Roman. Paul Heyman chooses. He chooses CM Punk, not you, Roman. Do you ever
yeah,
consider why, maybe?
yeah, and it just makes sense because yeah, like you said, Roman Reigns and Punk would be fighting over the Wise Men or even the Paul Heyman guy, as a Paul Heyman guy, and Seth has no allegiance with Paul Heyman, and the fan theories of Seth and Paul Heyman having an elite no, and there's
Yeah.
no like Paul's in on it, he's gonna betray both of them, dude. Paul is an actor, but Paul has shown genuine fear 3 different times, and every single time that Roman gets hurt, Paul is screaming out in agony that he's watching
A
his,
tribal
even
chief.
though he's gonna be in Punk's corner, he's still devoted to be the wise man, still
He's loyal to
cares.
both.
He's loyal, but well, right now he's loyal to I mean, he's loyal to both. He'll be loyal to mainly Punk in his corner,
But Roman don't
but
care.
on Raw, like recently, like in SmackDown, like he's been loyal to, you know, Paul, Roman much. He's still the wise man, he believes. Now, obviously, it feels like he's not since he was shoved away.
Roman said no. Fuck you.
Um, but it only makes sense for Seth to stand tall because it's been a hot minute since Seth has won something at WrestleMania. And yes, I get it. It's CM Punk's first main event of WrestleMania. But I feel like because CM Punk was shoehorned into this, like it makes sense now. Him being added like that, that also makes me think he's not going to win because in most realities, people were asking for a Roman versus Seth only because that's a feud that hasn't been like, yeah, Seth fought him at the Royal Rumble 2022. It was one of
I
I
don't know.
can't remember. I think it was, I don't remember. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. They did fight for the the title, and he came out in the Shield gear and all that. But it made sense to kind of finally squash this with Roman versus Seth. But now Punk is in the middle. Um, so it only makes sense that it would be Seth Rollins, just because like he has no allegiance to Paul. Punk and Roman are gonna have some definitely a bigger feud than and Seth's gonna get the upper hand probably. So I agree that Seth is definitely probably gonna be the winner of that match, for sure.
Yeah.
For
Sweet.
sure.
I didn't think we would be on the same page there, but
I wanted Punk, but after Raw, it changed. It changed my mind. And they're
yeah.
not going to be there Friday, so there's no reason to doubt it. I don't think they're going to be there
Yeah.
Friday because like they're both knocked out from a stomp and a chair shot, so they're recovering for. They're not really injured, but they're regrouping for you
Yeah.
know WrestleMania. So that was night one's predictions,
Yeah,
and
bro. I'm so excited.
yeah, and y'all are feel free to like put your predictions in the chat, the Discord, Twitter, whatever you want to discuss them at. We got a channel in our Discord for specific PLE prediction stuff. So yeah, well I guess we'll go over like rapid fire it. So pretty much night one, I said the New Day and Krodok said the War Raiders. Locked in. We
Yep.
both said Rey Mysterio for the El Grande Americano fight. That's locked in. Jade
Dead meat.
Cargill for Naomi fight. Um, LA Knight will lose to Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu
Mm-hmm.
will become the
New
new United
champ.
States champion. I said Charlotte Flair for versus Tiffany Stratton, and he said Tiffany Stratton. So there's a lot here that
It's
we are
Stiffy time.
definitely divided on. Jay's going to beat Gunther, become the World Heavyweight
Yeet.
Champion.
Yeet.
Yeet. We both agree that Seth Rollins will defeat CM Punk and Roman Reigns.
Whoa.
And
Oh.
I always thought in my head, I was like, which one would Seth pin? And for some reason, I feel like he would pin Roman, but we could see.
Mm.
So that's our
Yeah.
predictions for night one, which is
Oh,
Saturday, April
yeah, man.
19th. Uh, looking so I'm very much looking forward to all of this, man.
You say,
Um,
bro. Oh, dude. Like it's
I
surging through
cannot
me.
wait. I cannot wait. It's almost here. It's almost here. Thursday and Friday, man, please go by quickly. Well, don't go too quickly, but now we're on to
Yeah.
night two, which is a shorter match card. However, like we said, card is subject to change as it says in here. Um, because we could get something added Friday, but obviously that'll be added post. We can't talk about it here, but if I honestly I could throw it in here. If Randy were to be thrown into a match, I really think Randy would win. I'll just throw that out there.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Because I feel like
Randy
if they give
hasn't
him a
won a
match
match in
and
ages.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
so forced like I'm not forcing, but they're so focused on like him getting a match, him losing would suck. But
Well, yeah, but he hasn't won anything in ages. That's why it's obvious that he'll win something. Because when
yeah,
you look at it, he has not won a match in like 2 years, maybe at this point.
no, because
So, well, a
the last
year.
time he fought somebody that was Gunther, right, and he lost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lost both twice to Gunther,
because the
both
original
the
pick,
PLEs.
because when it was announced that he was gonna fight Kevin, I did choose Randy. I feel like that was gonna end that saga of heel Kevin. Kevin would have been out. Unfortunately, he's out for something different. But he would have been out of action probably. I feel like they were going for that maybe because he's been dealing with neck problems for a while. He knows he's been dealing with it, and I think it got too bad because he's been dealing with neck problems, but it got worse after a match. I think is what I heard. He's been dealing with
Yeah,
it, so like if it didn't get as worse, I feel like that would have given him time to go heal and take care of that. But now he's forced to do it earlier than expected, so now that match has been canceled.
yeah.
Unfortunately. But
Savage.
first match on the night, two match card: Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bailey and
Listen,
Lyra
no offense to
Valkyria.
them, a bathroom break.
I mean, like
Listen,
I for obvious
it'll be a
reasons,
good match, but who cares?
for obvious
Who
reasons,
cares?
women. No, I'm kidding. For
No.
obvious reasons, Liv Morgan, no, Bailey, no. Okay, listen. Honestly, I may like. Honestly, for me, like the tag dynamic between Liv and Raquel have been really great. Always, I believe.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to watch them.
No, I think it'll be like
It will
probably
be.
one of the best in-ring matches of the night. I just think nobody
Well, I mean,
cares.
you got Braun Breaker on here, so I mean that one's gonna go crazy. I know they're gonna put on a show for us. I know they already
Yeah.
are, especially the EO one. But like that, it'll be considerably one that people like. No, the one underneath it might be considered. I know AJ Styles is great, but that's Logan Paul, dude. Anyways, this one could be considered the bathroom break match of the night. However, I do like the dynamic between Liv Morgan and Raquel, so I will stay and probably watch them. Even when it's a
Well,
bathroom
I
break
will
match,
too.
I don't.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna skip out on it. I'm just
I don't
saying
take
that
my
because that's
yeah.
what
We do
yeah.
technically have to watch these things now, and it's like
Well, I would
to
watch it anyway.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love them.
But I
I
honestly,
again, I'm not hating on them. I think it'll be an amazing match. I just think
right.
nobody really cares. So.
Right. But in this, it's definitely the reason why I probably no one would care because obviously Liv Morgan and Raquel are going to retain,
Yeah. Yeah. So,
and it could
agreed.
lead. And you mentioned it; it could lead to Bailey and Lyra having a fallout and potential
Yeah.
heel turn, but probably not. Someone can mess up. I don't know. There's a lot of pressure going on to this, so like, but yeah, Liv Morgan and Raquel. It's Liv Morgan. I don't see her dropping her belt right now. Just got him. Haven't really
Yeah.
retained him much. So
Plus, no
uh
other real tag team to drop it
there's
to
no that's
anyway.
what I'm saying. There's
So,
no other tag teams to like. You don't have Jade and Bianca anymore, and you don't have like you have Katana Chance and you have Piper Niven, and it's just like no, there's nothing to like really because if you think
I
about
just
it,
want them
Bailey
to
and
retire this
Lyra,
belt.
because like all four of these women are on SmackDown, right? So like, I mean Raw. So like,
Move it to NXT. Move these belts to
yeah,
NXT,
they
please.
probably they could if they wanted to. They did before, but Liv Morgan and Raquel, I'll lock that in.
Yeah, same.
Uh, second match of the night: AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, a match that's going to be full of springboards probably.
Yeah, it'll actually probably be
Even though
pretty
I can't really
good.
tell because I know I always hear Logan Paul in his podcast saying that these spots are so difficult for him, given that he's a father now. But and
I
regardless,
don't think
but I
he
mean,
cares.
well, he probably doesn't. He probably hypes it up that he does, but in some
As
regards,
soon as his child was born, he sponsored Prime with it. I think.
he sponsored
Sorry,
Lunchly.
I called his child an it. My bad. But
No.
I don't know their gender. I don't know the gender
It's
of his child.
it's a
My
girl.
bad.
Um,
Okay.
but no, yeah, well, no, he sponsored Lunchly with his as a baby, but
Yeah.
no.
Right out of the womb.
Here's the thing, but regardless of like how Logan Paul is in his internet world and in IRL, he does the heel work well. He does the character work well. Y'all are y'all the hate is forced on him. Y'all are just hating him because you don't like the name of the Pauls and you don't like him for shit that he did 8 years ago and all this and that, and you just you're it's cancel culture people. They just don't like him, and he's not
Well, I
even.
also don't like him,
He
but
literally
I
respect.
can't. I have to respect him. So
No,
fuck
I
him.
respect him because he respects the sport. That's why I respect him. He
Yeah, plus he's too
literally,
good.
he's good, and also like as a person who doesn't know much of the business, he's the first celebrity like like person to enter the WWE, have a contract that's longer than just showing up and fighting at
Year.
WrestleMania or something. Yeah, like WrestleMania 38 was his first like appearance, and
Yeah.
he's been going since. So like he has been
Uh,
doing very well. You like if you want to hate the Logan Paul character person, Okay, go ahead. But like as the character, he's
Yeah.
not tarnishing the image of the WWE. He's not hurting anything. He's in fact doing what he's supposed to do. He enjoys being a heel. He's doing it right. And like they said, if there's noise, if they're booing you, you're doing something right. So
Better than having no reaction.
yeah. But unfortunately, not unfortunately, predictably, AJ Styles wins this match.
Easily.
AJ Logan has won a fair amount of WrestleMania matches. Um,
Yeah.
Not to mention, this is AJ Styles' first WrestleMania back as a babyface.
I see.
Probably his no, because he was a face in the Triple Threat. Oh no, the Fatal Four Way with Roman.
That was
But
Rumble.
was that Royal Rumble? I thought okay, it wasn't
Yeah.
Mania. Okay, so this is the first Mania back in a while. Even being a face now, so it only makes it clear that like Logan's gonna because there's no championship match here. This is a random feud, but it's a good feud. Um,
Yeah.
it's a
So crazy that it's on
strange
the
start
card
to
over the
one.
tag titles, but
Yeah,
whatever.
but it's one that like I wouldn't. It definitely they put on these guys. Logan puts on bangers. He does. He
Mm,
knows exactly what he's doing.
true. It's gonna be a
Um,
great match.
so AJ Styles for that one's locked in, and now we
Yes.
have one that like besides the main event, I'm looking forward to this one out of all of them. Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Go ahead.
Hell yeah!
That's
Latino heat, dirty, Dom Mysterio is gonna be your new IC champion.
dude. I'm telling you, I'm
respect
telling you
him.
right now. If he loses, I'm like straight up calling you and be like, "What the
I'm
fuck?"
riding.
I'm
I'm
rioting,
not gonna lie.
dude.
I will fucking. That's a lie. Don't take that seriously. In Minecraft, I will kill someone in Minecraft.
You're giving me shit to edit, dude. Listen, well, yeah. See, the thing is, Braun is obviously a stellar fucking. He's a phenomenal wrestler. He's amazing at his craft. Penta is moving up in the WWE. Penta's already made waves. He's been around for so long. Finn
Finn Balor.
Balor, though, it's unfortunate that what's happened to him over the years. But when it comes to them keep doing the same shit with him, you start to lose interest, and that's why the Finn Balor rant exists from Krodok. So yeah, Dominic's the only choice I can see here because it's just going to be the same rodeo. If Braun retains, he's just going to be trying. These guys are going to be fighting again to get it. And when it comes to Fatal Four Ways, well, there's always usually a newer champion. So with this kind of shit, and Braun's been the champion for a very long time, this could lead to Dominic, or Finn doing over each other. But I think it's going to be Dominic doing that unintentionally, and he wins, and it causes a rift in the Judgment Day, regardless that the Judgment Day has gold finally again.
Not to mention, Dom deserves this more than anyone, in my opinion, because he's been working his ass off as a heel, being
Yeah,
one of the best heels in all of WWE for like past like 3 years. So
yeah,
I think he deserves a title. So I think they're gonna
oh
give it
yeah,
to him.
put it on him, and for sure. And Penta is great, but I think this is like way too soon, especially
He's
on the
still
grandest
green.
stage of them all. Like right away, it's
Yeah.
kind of like, all right, now you're pretty much saying you're protecting this guy. It's like, well, clearly they're not because he was winning like back to back. So I was afraid like, okay, you might be protecting him a little bit too much, like don't. But then he lost, and I was like, okay, I see what they're doing here. Like they're trying to make him, because he is the man without fear. He doesn't fear a man, but doesn't mean
Zero miedo.
yeah, it doesn't mean that he's like unstoppable. He's not no, Undertaker where he's been completely protected and has a streak built up. So, you know,
Bianca does though.
yeah, you can't protect them too well. Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. But I believe Dominic Mysterio is and should be the choice for that. Please, Triple H,
Damn right.
give the world what they want. Because I'm
Fuck
telling you right
yes.
now,
Give me
regardless of
him.
how they hate Dom, that pop is going to be insane when he wins.
If
Um,
Dirty Dom wins, I'm
I'm not even
bro.
saying that you're giving me shit to cut out here, man.
Hey, don't cut that out. Leave that in.
I'm not.
Leave
I am
it
cutting that out. I'm cutting that out.
in. Listen, man. Dom will win, and it'll be the day I cry. If Dom wins, I'm crying. I'm I'm celebrating. I'm screaming. I got snot coming out of my nose. It's gonna be the most emotional I'll ever be. You guys don't understand how much Dom Mysterio means to me. He is my favorite wrestler of all time. He's the reason I started getting into wrestling, and I thank him for that. And he's my inspiration. I think he's the best heel of all time, and Dominic Mysterio deserves to be the IC champion.
Damn right. I'm ready for it, man. That pop's gonna be insane. This one. Well, I'm glad they had a. Okay, they did add a stipulation to it to make it a little bit more interesting. Damian Priest
Street
versus
fight.
Drew McIntyre. Sin City Street Fight. Woo.
What's that mean?
Well, Sin City is pretty much Vegas because it's the
Oh,
city of like greed and pretty much yeah. I could be wrong.
okay.
There's multiple. I've heard there's multiple Sin Cities, but Sin City is like in Vegas, crime, gambling, everything like pretty much. So
Mm.
it could be casino based, but I feel like it's just gonna be like they're just calling it that because they're in Las Vegas.
Okay, see, I
Um,
wouldn't know that because I'm Canadian, so
yes, you are in a different country. Yeah, you wouldn't
and
know.
I've never been outside
But
of
yeah,
Canada.
it's like
I'm not allowed.
there's also like a movie series called Sin City, and it's in Vegas. It's a part of Vegas. It's like so Chicago has like Chirac, which is like their crime alley. It's like Iraq because it's a war zone sometimes out there. But like Sin City is pretty much that crime area. Please don't hate on me if I'm wrong, but like that's what I've heard in media and like movies and stuff. That's what Sin City is. But it's mainly like
All right.
the city of greed and gambling. So they're probably just gonna call.
Mm.
They're just calling it that because it's cool. I guess they're just probably just gonna be
It's also
beating it.
probably the city of lust. It's the seven deadly sins city, I'm guessing. Gluttony,
No,
lust,
no.
greed. You can
Vegas
find
is
it all
no.
there.
Vegas is well. Vegas has a lot, but mainly the city of greed. Because when you get into Vegas, I think there's a giant building with like a
Let's
giant.
go gambling.
Yeah, oh dang it! There's a building that has a giant like I kid you not. There's somewhere that like on down the strip of where the casinos are. There's like a building with a giant slot machine on it. Vegas is more of the city of greed, but it does have a lot of shit like in it. Sorry if I'm being, rude to you Vegasans or whatever you call yourselves, but
Veganinians? No.
Nevadans because it's in Nevada, but um it's true.
Las Vegians? Las
No.
Vegetations.
Okay, now you're just making fun of vegetarians. Anyways, no.
No,
but
I'm
no,
not.
it's
Listen.
but no, it's like it is kind of the that it is because it's mainly greed because you go to the gamble. If you ever want to go to a crazy casino, that's where you go. But there
But
probably
argument,
is. It's
listen.
everything.
It's also
It's
probably
everything.
lust because I mean, I'm guessing there's probably a lot of lust in that city. There's
Yeah,
probably a
there's
lot of
everything.
pride with the gambling. There's probably a lot of envy at other people winning and you're not winning when you're betting. There's gluttony because you want all that food, that good Vegas food. I don't know if Vegas has good food. It's probably really
Are we getting
expensive.
religious here?
What? No.
Anyways, oh yeah,
Listen,
it's
it's
everything,
late.
but
I'm getting
mainly
unhinged.
yeah, it's but mainly like greed is the forefront. But yes, it does include probably everything. It's just also it's a slang term. It's not really like oh you go there to sin. Like it's a slang term. But
Seven
um,
deadly sins.
for this match, I'm already clocking it. Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, same. He's been losing nonstop.
Um,
He needs a win. He
it's not
wins.
only that it comes full circle because Damian Priest did cash in on him at Mania last year. This only works for him getting his revenge by beating Priest here. It doesn't really win you anything. It just wins you revenge. But McIntyre hasn't won PLEs in a while, and this is the best way. And Priest, well, this is just he's great, but I mean, I don't see him winning this.
He screwed
And
me.
it also is payback for Chamber because Priest did pin him, I believe, right? Yeah, Priest pinned him. So
Rolled
this
him.
is a best way to revenge that. Drew McIntyre for sure.
He screwed me over
Hmm.
again and again.
I didn't pray for this. What the hell? I stopped praying a long time ago.
I stopped praying a long time ago. I can't do
You're
it. I
turning. I
can't do it.
think you should
Yeah.
stop. You're turning Indian anyway. Gender? No. Uh,
Oh my god.
all right.
Dude, listen, we're past like the whatever, Mark, and
My
I'm
God,
losing
man,
it.
it's
Okay,
almost
I'm
it's
like
almost 1 o'clock.
turning
We
into
gotta get.
something
It's almost
else.
1 o'clock for
Yeah.
me, man. I hope work is good tomorrow. Wish me luck, y'all, on work tomorrow. If the podcast uploads Monday, you'll know what happened to me. Anyways, or Friday. Uh, Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. Mother
Let
God.
my girl retain. Let my girl retain. Io
Yeah,
Sky.
yeah. Just because
Yeah.
like of how much she's been in the background of this feud, how she keeps getting pushed aside while Bianca and Rhea are trying to make themselves the center of attention. It only
Plus, the
makes sense
crowd's
that
behind her, man.
yeah,
They're
and
behind
no,
her.
yeah, they're behind her a lot. And are you okay?
Oh yeah, man.
All right, Booker, calm down there.
No bread, no water, just me.
Anyway, so yeah,
Listen, I'm losing it.
yes, it's getting late. Okay, so Io Sky and Bianca Belair. So like, obviously, many times I've had my fucking criticisms for this shit. So getting tired
Yeah.
of them like booing the wrong person, and then Rhea being a crybaby. I'm not even gonna call her a bitch. Like she's great, but like you're being a crybaby. Stop it. And then Bianca's randomly getting booed, so obviously they don't want her to win. So that's the disadvantage right there. And then Io is just completely over.
As she
She
should
hasn't,
be.
and yeah, she should be. And as I said before, if not the Charlotte angle where Charlotte fights Asuka, Asuka's been gone a very long time. Io Sky has history with Asuka. I would love for those two to have one on one again, to fight one on one.
Dude,
I
that'd
don't know
be
where Kairi Sane has
sick.
been, but
Wait, you're
obviously,
cooking. That's
well, yeah,
totally gonna
I
happen.
have told
That's
you this
totally
before. How
gonna
did you
happen.
forget? All right, I'm just kidding. No,
No, no.
that's what I told because like between these women, they all have
Who's
history.
your
Like
top 5 wrestlers?
you can't do that to me in mid podcast. You can't do that to me like that. They make me
I
because now
want
people
to
are
know
going
if
now because
Io's
now
in your
people just
top 5. Is Io in your top 5?
because everyone literally for women's. I mean, all together, no. Because I
No,
have like
altogether.
I break the not no. She's in my top 10 probably.
Wow. Okay.
What do you mean? There's like so many top 5 that I have
She's
that
my
is like
top 3. She's not even in your top 5. That's crazy.
top 10 still works. Top 30 even. I mean, it's like there's so many. We'd have
Top
to go on a
30.
podcast with that. Chill out. You can't do that to me. Everyone looked at me and was like, "You better say." We're almost done here. This guy's getting unhinged. Um, but
Listen.
no, Io is definitely the pick because, like I said, like Bianca's randomly getting booed at just because they don't have anyone to boo, and then they don't want to boo Rhea because they love mommy, and so they're not going to boo her even though she's clearly crying. Um, yeah, it's definitely Io Sky. And like I said, yeah, that's set up because, like I said, Charlotte has flair with us. Charlotte has flair. Wow.
Charlotte has flair. She
Wow.
does have
Well,
some
I
flair
mean,
to her.
honestly, yeah, that's why their name is Flair anyway. Their real last name is
Flair.
Fleur, but
Flair. Wait,
yeah,
really?
their real last name is Fleur. It's like a different spelling.
Oh, well, now
Yeah.
I hate them.
Okay.
Well,
But
it's less cool.
well, I mean, dude, listen, they did that to make it sound cool. There's some people's last names are not. Brian Breaker's last name's not even Breaker. It just sounds cool.
I know. It's
Even though
Steiner,
Steiner is great, he just didn't want to. He wanted to be his own person.
which is cool. That's
Even though he's literally a
respectable.
spitting image of Scott Steiner, but faster.
Oh,
Anyways,
speaking of dads and shit, dude, there's this guy. I've been watching LFG guys, and there's this dude who's like the son of some famous like boxer called like Evander Holyfield or something, and he's like part of the WWE now and a wrestler. So
ladies and
he's in the
gentlemen,
PC.
this guy just said some boxer named Evander Holyfield,
What?
a legend boxer, and you said some guy named Evander Holyfield. All
Listen,
right.
I don't know anything about
Man, oh
boxing.
man. Wow, you're going to get torn apart. Well, all I got to
I
say
don't know.
is very famous for, yeah. Uh, let's just say he's the victim of Mike Tyson biting his ear off.
Oh,
We'll
really?
just
That's
say,
that
yeah,
guy?
he's the guy. Yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy who has beaten Tyson twice. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
he's the. I'm probably getting that wrong, but I know he's beaten
Oh,
Tyson.
Okay, well, yeah, he's on LFG. His son's on LFG, so
Well, holy shit.
yeah. So he'll hopefully
Yeah.
be in the WWE
Yeah,
sometime.
do you know this guy, this other guy named Muhammad Ali? He's a guy, you know.
Well, I've heard of him.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness, the comments are probably like, "Oh my god."
Hey,
Krodok is young, y'all. Okay, Krodok is young. He's just now coming up into the this kind of sports stuff, so it gets into the
yeah.
boxing. But okay, yeah.
I've only started watching sports in the last year, and I don't even watch other sports. All I watch is wrestling. So
Wrestling. So yeah,
wrestling.
Yo Sky for that one for sure. Now
Yeah. The
the
big
meat,
boy.
the meat. No
The
bread,
meat.
no water, just meat. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. And I'm gonna take a little bit of time on this because motherfucker, there's so many like things that tell me I want to pick who I want to pick, and it tells me to pick this person. But main event for the undisputed.
Dreaming.
I hate that it's still called the undisputed, and it really makes me think what the decision I'm gonna make is it's not gonna be undisputed after this.
Universal. Undisputed Universal WWE
It's
Championship.
no longer universal, so
Fuck.
I don't know what
The
you're saying here.
undisputed WWE
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it
Championship.
stopped being, yeah, the Universal they got rid of after it was merged with the WWE Championship. Um See, the thing is, like, within this feud itself, it made it so hard to really understand who was gonna win.
It's
Um
easy for me.
for a while it was Cody for my pick because, well, here's the thing.
Really?
No. It was John. But between those weeks of him being absent, between nothing happening for 2 weeks until the last 2 weeks, something finally happens. My shift changed, and obviously these Cody promos are still throwing it in there. This one is like, even though I know your pick and my pick might be the same,
Mm-hmm.
it's still an unpredictable thing because it's like it feels like a Cody Rhodes returning at the 2023 Royal Rumble moment where we thought he was going to beat Roman. People believed that would have been the perfect time to beat Roman, and he lost. And now with
Yeah,
John
but he's
Cena
not on a
having,
retirement tour.
I know, with all these limited John Cena appearances, the limited time, it's like it just didn't feel like it. But for the final lock in of the card, my pick will be John Cena to
Yeah,
win.
this was the easiest one for me.
It's just honestly because the way I'm looking at this, um, so many reasons for why he could be this. Upcoming feuds that he could have, upcoming so many things that have already probably been announced are going to be announced that people have found out. I haven't looked at all of them because I'm gonna stop spoiling myself because I found out some things and I don't want to find them out anymore. I gotta stay off Twitter, but even
Oh,
though
boo.
I use it as my news, man.
Uh-oh.
Sometimes like releases and stuff,
Yeah,
but
see, this is why I avoid Twitter.
I just use it for news. But man, some of these news become spoilery and it's bad. But um, he's definitely the pick because also I'm looking at it that it's still called the undisputed WWE Championship. They can't have that undisputed forever. Like the thing is, it's like
But it
undisputed.
is
Well,
undisputed.
it is because it's the double belt merged into one. That's why it's called the undisputed. So
Oh.
yeah, that's what undisputed means. Two belts and or two belts together, you're undisputed. But because it was merged together for Roman, he was still undisputed because he never lost that other belt. It just merged
Hmm.
into one, even though he still carried the old belt around for a while
So you're
until
saying it
they.
should just be called the WWE
It would
Championship?
probably be called the WWE Championship after if John beats him. I feel like they're going to drop that design since technically that design has been
But it's a good
around. It is
design.
a good design. However, out of all the titles that have been changing lately, that's the one title that hasn't changed since Roman got it changed when he reclaimed the title. Because remember, he changed it to the gold title before Cody beat him. So it's probably, I believe, it's time for a change, and it only makes sense if John Cena gets that belt and it changes to something else.
He brings back the spinner. No, he's
He
not gonna bring
probably
back the
won't do
spinner.
that,
No,
but there's going to
no,
be
no.
something new to it. It's definitely going to bring back a different feel to it. May come to like a classic
Yeah,
feel. Like, I mean,
I see that.
so I'd be really excited for that. And locking it in, John Cena.
Me too.
And man, it'd be crazy if that bites us in the ass. But I mean, again, it affects both of us if we're both
We
wrong.
have the
So
same for night 2.
yeah, we have the same because we are divided on a couple. Well, no, for night
We only
one,
have 2 that are
no,
different. We
we
have
only
2
have
that are
yeah, we
different.
only have two that are different on night one, and then night two, we literally have everything's the same. So it's like
Uh-oh.
one of yeah, so like one of if one of us gets one thing,
Fuck.
if one of us gets at least one or two things wrong, then one of us is fucked. So like it's gonna be
It all comes down to
yeah.
Tiffy Charlotte and War Raiders and um uh
Which
uh
one do we this no
New Day.
New
Yeah.
Day?
War Raiders,
So
New Day, and Tiffy and Charlotte are the 2 matches that matter.
right.
So it'll be decided night 1
Um.
basically.
So yeah, night two, our choices. We both chose Liv Morgan and Raquel to retain. We chose AJ Styles to defeat Logan Paul. We both are
Yep.
going for Dominic Mysterio because why not?
Yeah.
He's gonna be the champion. We both went for Drew
Let's
McIntyre.
go.
We both went for
Oi.
EO. I
Yeah.
love how you're acting as all of them. And first of all, it's her voice is deeper than that. Um,
Hey, man.
and then we both went for John Cena in the Cody Rhodes fight. So like this one, so pretty much this is like yeah, night two is gonna be insane because we both have chosen the same people we would go for.
The winner will
But
be decided after Tiffy and Charlotte match, basically. Because
yeah, because I mean,
um,
because like you could get the War Raiders one wrong and still be good if we were to like yeah,
and if I got Tiffy right, then it would be a draw.
it would pretty much be decided and we would just be watching. Well, then
Yeah,
again, remember though, even if we can't technically decide that because we could both say Seth Rollins and that shit goes different because you got to think about it that way too. We could
but
both
that
say
doesn't
Seth
matter.
would because yeah, it would still be no.
The
Well,
only
if yeah,
matches that matter
no,
are the War Raiders and New
yeah,
Day and
but I'm
Tiffy
saying
and
like
Charlotte.
if we got Seth Rollins wrong, like
Then we both got it
it would
wrong. We
just
still
say
keep the same point
it
score.
would say vacant pretty much, and I don't want it to stay vacant. I want the title to go to somebody this one.
Well, yeah, I'm
Um,
basically saying it's a 50-50 chance that we
yeah,
draw and a 50-50 chance that one of us loses.
correct.
But it
So
all comes down to the Tiffy, Charlotte,
so
and War and New Day match.
pretty much we're focusing on night one of all things. Like
Yes, night 2
yeah,
doesn't
even though
matter.
we're
It's
probably like
irrelevant.
yeah, we shouldn't say much because like I want to still make it like clear by the night two episode goes out on like who we can say wins because I don't want to say hey so and so won by posting night one. We'll do the winner on night two's episode for sure. We'll
But
like
we'll know
even
right
though
after
both of
Tiffy and
us will
Charlotte.
probably know, yeah, both of us will definitely know, and you all will probably know. We just won't mention it.
And I'll tell you immediately.
Yeah, we just won't mention it until the next podcast to make it kind of fair because I don't want to sit there and say that and then it's like, all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the predictions for night one and two of WrestleMania 41. Why am I
Let's
talking like
go!
this? I don't know.
I don't
And it is
know.
getting late, my guy. And man,
Yeah.
I'm glad we got through that like the best way we could because that kind of was
Whew.
quicker than I thought. I thought we were going to talk 20 minutes each on one.
Well,
Um, but yeah, you know what I could have done that
we've been
whole
talking about these
you
feuds
know what I
for
could have done
weeks,
that whole
so
time and I never did. I could have put in that on visual. I didn't do it, but I mean, I was gonna
it's
do that, but it's
fine.
fine. I mean, I'm if I feel like editing in this, I'll like put like over our names, like what. So I'll probably put something in there and like our picks and stuff. Maybe I'll do like little fun that way. Um, but yeah, those were our predictions, and I'm so
Ye-
excited for Mania. My
Bro,
goodness.
same. Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely excited. I whatever people are saying, like I get it. Some of the like hype is not as up for some people here, but like I'm always hyped for a Mania regardless. Like this is
It's my first one.
when I found out this is actually the first Mania that Triple H is doing solo because apparently some of the storyline ideas from 40 was still Vince. So now this is all Triple H. So that's kind of why it feels different, but like it doesn't mean it's going to suck, people. It's Triple H. He's doing great. He's been doing wonders. The
Bah.
dude's amazing, and he definitely knows what he's doing. Calling him a bad booker, man, is like you're not understanding what the vision is. You're not paying too much
Still
of
better than
attention.
Vince.
That's objective because there's some Vince does have some gems. He does also have some
Yeah, but
shit,
overall,
but yeah, I get what you mean. There's some things that like Vince didn't call
last
well.
10 years of Vince's booking doesn't touch Triple H's booking.
Besides the bloodline and stuff, and well, there's like I
Yeah, again,
said,
I'm
there was
saying
some
overall quality. Like
yeah.
there's some stinkers from Triple H too that are worse than
During
some
the
of Vince's
20
stuff.
like during the
But
beginning of the 20,
overall,
like I
Vince is
said,
way better. Sorry, Triple H is way better than
yeah,
Vince.
because like I said, during like the 2010s, even like those gyms like CM Punk versus Cena, that feud and everything. He also had some shit in between that was just filler and didn't matter. But
I
you
mean, look
still
at
had
2019.
yeah, you had it was yeah, you had your your Undertaker versus Triple H duology matches and like trying to break the streak twice, but then you'd have some
End of
shit.
an era.
Yeah, you'd have some shit stuff, but that's just because back then they focused on one main storyline and then everybody was thrown to the side. But now these storylines are being thrown to the front and getting more and more attention now. So now we have more interesting stuff to care about. Um, so yeah, very looking forward to it. Like I said, if you guys have predictions, like put them in our Discord channel. Put them in the comments. Like I don't even care. We'll read through them. We'll talk about them. But yeah, the first pod. So we're gonna have a double podcast this coming week.
Mhm.
I believe Monday will be night one, and then night two will be the usual Friday. So there'll be a gap, but we'll be recording our discussion about night two, possibly on a Wednesday or a Tuesday like this, depending on like how eager we're wanting to get this out or talk
Yeah.
about it. But yeah, Monday. It depends on like how fast I edit, but possibly Monday is when night one's podcast will go out. Possibly, I believe so. I'll put it out for Monday, and then Friday will be the usual night two and stand and deliver because we do well night one's podcast. We'll talk about stand and deliver because that happens before night one. So night one's podcast is Monday with stand and deliver. Night two will be Friday. We'll throw in our recaps as well because we got to talk about Monday Night Raw. The Raw after Mania might be even be crazy.
Oh
Holy
yeah,
shit, that's
man.
always something. Um,
Oh yeah, man.
and we'll even keep updates and stuff. And obviously, the final tally score of who wins this belt, me, will be the next coming Friday.
Yeah, Booker T has really grown on me ever since I started watching
I've
LFG.
noticed you've been yeah man, like just keep going, yeah
Dude,
man.
I don't know why, bro, but ever since I
I
started
can't
watching
even do
LFG,
it.
I don't
It's
know,
like my
man.
throat's gonna fall out when I do it, dude.
Booker T's growing on me, okay? For those of you who don't know, I've hated Booker T on commentary ever since I started watching NXT. But slowly and surely, I'm loving him. Every single time I
I was
hear
about to
him
say I
talk,
thought
I'm like,
recently you said you didn't like
hell
him, and
yeah.
now you all right. Well, character development,
Listen, yeah, man, you know?
and
I just don't like his objectifying comments on women, I guess is what it would
yeah,
be.
it's overdue. No one liked it for Jerry Lawler, but then they started tolerating it. Yeah, he hypes them up more than he kind of. I mean, in my eyes, he hypes them up more. But yeah, like
Well, yeah, he's even said that's his whole, like, that's what he's trying to do is
yeah,
just
Jerry
hype them
Lawler,
up.
I could feel like in some way he really did like the women. I know that man is married in real life, but like that character. But then again, you got to think about this. Vince was in control of also what the commentator said, so you can't throw the blame on Lawler for it all the time. I mean, because now like the commentators have free reign. Like, hey, be yourself, be your character, but there's a line to cross. But no, Lawler was probably
Yeah.
told to say that shit too, and that's when the women was treated a different way. But now they're seen as superstars, and I love it.
So,
So, any final comments? Because we're going to end it here because it's late as hell. Got to go to bed.
yeah, no, I got nothing. I'm tired as fuck.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. That is our predictions. Like I said
You
in the
Finn Balor
rules,
fans.
Yeah, dude. Fuck you guys. Anyways, no.
I'm kidding. I feel sorry for you.
I already had one rant this week. We're telling people to go fuck themselves. And if y'all didn't watch that video, you
Uh,
should check it out. I just uploaded my as we were talking about this, my Minecraft rant video is out today. And man, oh
yeah,
man, you'll love it. And I give the horrible theater goers, movie goers, piece of my mind. But check that out.
mind.
But just yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, the podcast, viewers and listeners. Don't forget, hit that bell, hit the like, get the algorithm up because we're getting noticed. This channel is almost close to 800. I am getting out of that 700 mark. I am so close. Let's spread the word, man. If you love wrestling, tune into this podcast every damn Friday. Follow me on Twitter and YouTube. I'm like trying to get hyped over here. Follow me on YouTube at I am RedBeard22 and on Twitter, and follow Krodok, Krodok55, Twitch and YouTube. And we will catch you on the next one. And that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler.
Peace.
Peace.